Hell yeah. How's everybody doing tonight? Woo! Let's go. I just got to hit it one time, guys. One time. Destiny. Destiny to the main stage. Destiny to the main stage. Everybody get your dollar bills ready because here we go. Yeah. Hope y'all are having a really... Yep, we're not still at the stripper forum. No, we're not the DJ right now. I hope all you guys are having a great time tonight. We have a great show planned for you. We'll be starting here in about 2 to 3 minutes. 2 to 3 minutes. Get your popcorn ready. Get it ready now. Oh my goodness. I have fresh hot pecan rolls. Popcorn. Who said poopcorn? Who said poopcorn, Royal Kenny? Who said it? Can we get some death metal? All you had to do was ask. We'll play this death metal for 1 second for Daniel Cooper just to set the stage right. Let's get some good death in here. Hold on. This is for you guys. Getting a few things set up and we'll get ready. We're almost ready. 2 minutes. 2 minutes and I'll be ready for you guys. Yes, I said we'd be starting 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, 10 minutes ago. Hello, everybody. Welcome to tonight's show. We have a good show for you guys. Oh, I'm down. My bad. I'm not hearing it in my head, but I'm sure y'all are still hearing it. Thank you very much, guys. Hey, great to see everyone here tonight. I'm too poor for 2 bass drums, says BT Toast. Oh, BT. Just go get you 2 5-gallon buckets. You'll be all right. What up, Mr. Andrat? Second best bomb. Malin Raja. I hear things in my head too. Well, you know, just like me, you might need some fucking professional help. But okay. Mod me, fucker, says Charlie Welch. We'll talk about that, Charlie. We'll talk. Mandevil says, if I don't see 4 men crossing swords in this stream, I'm unsubbing. Well, that's not on me, really. That's kind of on this guy right here. What's going on, Fohammer? We'll start with the introductions. How you doing tonight? Oh, look at that. Fohammer has muted himself. What a nice guy, because nobody wanted to hear that fucking... Hey, let me tell you something. Before you speak, anything you say afterwards is going to make you look less handsome. So you have the choice at this point to shut the fuck up and keep that cute look on your face, and we'll move on to the next person. Or you can unmute yourself and introduce yourself and begin looking ugly as fuck. Yeah, I agree. And then what up, Fohammer? How you doing tonight? Unmute yourself. You're muted. I was just kidding. There's not too much you could say to make people dislike that face. So, you can Are you struggling to figure out why your audio is not coming through? Should I move on to the... Okay. We'll move on to the next person then. Dark Steve, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, man. Yourself?
I'm doing really good. You see that, Fohammer? Dark Steve has no problem actually fucking getting his microphone to work. Yeah, you can non-flat Earth. You can non-flat Earth. That's for sure. And then let me get the other beautiful gentleman in. 1 second. 1 second. All right, Skydiver Tanner. Hey, good to see you, Dark Steve. We'll get around and letting everybody... Well, actually, tell everybody a little bit about yourself before we get back over to Tanner, Fohammer, and Lil Wolf. Go ahead.
All right. I'm Dark Steve. Obviously, I'm Steve. I'm part of the 4 Swordsmen. I come up with this weird idea that us guys should get together, apparently. Well, they're going to blame me. And... I just do a lot of gaming. That's basically my thing. I got into Flat Earth, and I just found that to be something very irritating. So I just really wanted to mess with it, hence how I met a lot of you guys, or most of you guys. So, yeah, that's me. I'm simple.
Nice, nice. All right, Skydiver Tanner, what's good? Yeah, I know you're fooling around. I know you can text. So, oh, I had you muted. You didn't have yourself muted. I had you muted. Go ahead. Now you may speak. And you still have yourself muted. Good job. Okay, while we return to the flat earther of Skydiver Tanner and let him get his audio, we'll go to Fohammer, who appears to have his audio worked out. What up, Fohammer?
I think I fixed it now.
I think you have to.
Okay. No, so every time I join vMix, it resets my default devices. And I just downloaded Crisp, like you said, so it wasn't routing through properly.
Oh yeah, you gotta change things around once you download Chris. But anyway, Fohammer,
Yep.
how you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing really, really freaking good.
Awesome.
I'm with 4 of my best friends.
Well, me and three irrelevant people, but no big deal.
Whatever.
Oh my God, he has Mike. What up, Skydiver Tanner? Enough
How
with
you
you,
doing?
Fohammer.
Yeah.
What up, Tanner?
I've totally forgot I muted on the little pad when the dogs were barking, but how you guys doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Get yourself Chris. Dogs barking in the back won't matter. Great to see all of you here. We still have one more person to introduce who's not on camera. Wow. Sir Little Wolf. He comes in talking all that biped shit all the time and then doesn't show up on camera. How ridiculous is that logic right there? What up, Little Wolf? How you doing
more
tonight?
about my teeth. I'm doing okay.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna have it's gonna be a shorter live stream tonight.
I
As
sure hope so.
yeah, as some of you may or may not have known, my last live stream was legitimately 14 hours long, and we're gonna try not to do that anymore. In fact, Schrodinger's cat, who's been a good buddy of mine on Whiskey Wednesdays, has decided to do a last call at 1:50 in the morning. So we have 10 minutes at that point to shut everything down and make sure the bartenders get home on time. But all right, so let's talk about you guys for a minute. Y'all are new to the scene, of course. In the background, I'm really spreading myself too thin, right? I'll be honest, I'm spreading myself too thin.
How does
Because
the skeleton spread itself thinner?
at being spaghettified at a black hole. That's how. And right now I have this black hole of ideas that keeps sucking me in, and I can't, like, I just need to put everything aside and work on one thing at a time. Let me tell you guys something, because y'all watch my stuff, and it would be nice to get y'all's opinion here. Man, I'm like, I really am struggling with the style of videos I do, right? It has nothing to do with the content. The content, coverable, it needs to be covered. Anti-maskers, anti-vaxxers, flat earthers, soft sits, First Amendment auditors, all those people need to be covered. Everybody needs to talk about them and discuss them. For a long time, I denied, my role in all of that. I said, hey, I'm just here to make you guys laugh, right? But a little at a time, I see, where it's not just about making people laugh. It's also about pushing people away from bad ideas. Reinforcing people's decisions to not follow bad ideas. Flat Earth, well, we can always go back to Flat Earth because that's the commonality we all have. Going back to Flat Earth, if you look at Flat Earthers are never just Flat Earthers. They're Flat Earthers and anti-vaxxers. They're Flat Earthers and COVID deniers. They're Flat Earthers and anti-maskers. They're Flat Earthers and Q-tards, Like, there's this idea that Flat Earth may be the dumbest actual topic to talk about, the dumbest conspiracy to talk about. But at the same time, if it goes unchecked, it leads to other things that can be harmful, like anti-maskers, like anti-vaxxers. So I've been having this, just kind of been questioning myself, a bit. And I think that's probably one of the quickest ways to hurt your own ability to make content and be successful is to start doubting yourself. And that's where I'm at right now. Is I'm doubting myself a bit. I don't really want to keep doing idiot videos. I mean, I do because they're idiots. But it kind of feels like I'm crutching on something. I don't want to be crutching on anything. I want to prove that I can be an entertainer without a shtick, without something that I constantly have to rely on to have an entertaining video. So it's I'm sure many creators go through this, right? I'm just at that point. Do I want to keep doing what I'm doing, or do I want to evolve my channel into something better? I think removing me saying, you're an idiot over and over, I think that was the first step, but I don't think that was the last. For me to become a good content creator and be able to put out the material I like and that I want to put out constantly, I think I have to remove a few things, and one of the things might be the idiot counter. Not saying I'll never do idiot videos again, but in every video it's becoming a bit repetitive. And it adds hours and hours and hours to editing because everything has to be perfect. What are y'all's opinion on that? I'll let y'all discuss that with me, and I'll be quiet.
Well, I just like knowing that Mr. Humble himself brought us on so we could talk about him during the stream. That's lovely.
Tanner, hold on. Does anybody but Tanner have anything to add to what I just said? No, go ahead, Tanner.
Yeah, so we came over here just to talk about team.
Yes, team, and you guys. I mean, I'm just, we're over. I make announcements, okay? So check it out. The beginning of all of my streams are going through news, going through channel news. I always want to do that because everybody's going to see that, right? Now, I don't think I'll take away swearing, Male Jen. Male Jen says, I like it when you swear and insult flatards. Yeah, I think you can nothing will change about that, and you can be more broad with the term flatards. You could just say conspiracy idiots. And the swearing won't stop. The insulting won't stop. And yes, Mr. Andrat, thank you for confirming. Not that I needed your confirmation. My confirmation is above everyone else's, but you are correct. I am humble. Don't silence Tanner for telling the truth. That comes from Mute Donkey. Okay, I did silence you for a moment. So Tanner, let me turn it over to you. What do you think? What advice could you as a person give to me as a person dealing with what I'm dealing with?
Right. Obviously, I'm new. I struggle with a lot of the things that I want to do in my videos too. Sometimes I feel like they're way too long. Sometimes I feel like they're way too short. Things that I find funny, other people don't find funny, but I still enjoy making it. So the thing that I would say to you, and what I like to see from you, is you doing what you've been doing. If it's something that you're struggling within yourself, then you need to figure out what you need to change up, obviously. But if it seems like people are still subbing to you and coming back to you and enjoying it, don't fix something that's not broken, right? So just keep going with it. I've enjoyed the Dinger stuff. If I were to, maybe have some sort of suggestion, is I do like to watch some of the content creators out there involve more people in the community and things. I think that's fun for everyone. It kind of helps everyone to get to know one another, or put a face to the name, or if they don't want to have a face on there, at least see that the person's contributing in some way. And I find that interesting. You don't have to have the same people over and over and over again, obviously, but just, reach out to someone, reach out to a random person and ask if they want to do a collab with you or something.
But can I be honest with you though, Tanner? That's really hard to do, and I don't want it to sound pretentious or like like I'm above everybody else. But not everybody can do what I would need somebody to do. So I can't just go to just a regular person and say, "Hey, want to be on a video with me?" Because that would also take away from my ability to gain subscribers and whatnot. They don't subscribe because I exist. They subscribe because they like the content. That's probably why I don't really involve a lot of people in my created content. Very few. And it's nothing personal. It's just that I have to be concerned with where, the quality of content. If it was just a matter of putting out content, I could do one every day. Yeah, exactly. Mute Donkey. Skydiver Tanner's looking for a reach around. And Craven Mordick. I mean, I'm sorry. Commander Darklight said, "I am the most modest person in the world, and if you don't believe me, just ask me, and I'll be sure. I'll be sure to tell you, which I will. I'll tell you."
Well, the thing too is it's not necessarily, you don't have to put them in a video, but everyone has all sorts of different skill sets or different knowledge in different things. Obviously, if there was something you wanted to put out that came to deal with skydiving or safety or atmospheric pressure with altimeters or aviation, because I've done flying, hit me up. Maybe there's some things I know that and same with other people. That's kind of what I'm getting at is open up the horizons to see what kind of backgrounds people have, and maybe they can help to contribute into different ways of looking at things versus I don't want to say your own way, because it's not strictly your own way on the videos you do, but at least taking the perspective from someone else and then being able to mix that in with your videos and with your content.
Yeah. And when I say what I'm saying, when I say what I'm saying, I'm not trying to be pretentious there. I really have, somebody. Well, it's like asking asking a store to carry a product that they don't feel would do very well, or even if they're not sure it would do well or not, they don't really have the room to be testing and trying new stuff all the time. And I'm kind of in that situation.
You do have 40,000+ subscribers, so it is hard to go through everyone and people trying to reach out to you. It's completely understandable on not being able to get to every single message or something like that. But if you notice someone in the side chat mentioned something one time about how even if they paint lines on a highway or something, how do you guys go about measuring certain things over distance? I don't know. Just that was kind of a stupid example, but just different blocks of life have different ideas. But otherwise, your videos, I there's nothing wrong with them. I think if you feel that there's a stalemate with it, then that's your own.
Well, I don't think there's anything wrong with the videos. I actually like the videos. I'll go back and watch my own video several times. I think it's more the process of making the video.
It sucks.
It does. It sucks. If it could only just be as simple as just saying something on a microphone and everything coming together, that would be great. But it's not. It has to be done. It has to be done in a very specific way. My videos, I could easily put out a video a day if I wasn't throwing in all the extras that I throw in. Just like Fight could easily put out a video once a month. If he stopped worrying about the thing. No, he could put out more stuff if he stopped worrying about so much of the graphics. But
that's brilliant.
But even speaking with him, I know that that he's not willing to compromise. He wants something that sets him aside from everybody else. And I do too, but I'm also, I don't know, guys. Just feeling. That's why a lot of the content that hadn't come out recently, I haven't stopped. Like I've been going through my life has been extremely hectic in the past 6 weeks. Okay, I've invested a lot of money into a few ideas that I hope will have a payoff in the near future. I've gone through some stress-related things. I literally was messaged someone to tell me they would no longer support me because of what somebody else said in somebody else's chat. It had nothing to do with my chat or anybody that Dumb Jezza, who's not a mod over here. They sent me the picture to show me why they can't support me anymore, and Dumb Jezza was a mod. And I was like, hold on. Dumb Jezza's not a mod on this channel. Like, this is not my channel. Why are you even reaching out to me? Okay, you don't want to fucking support. Don't fucking support. I don't care. That's fine. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. I'm not going to say any names. You know who you are out there. You may or may not be listening. You threatened me with no longer listening, so you're probably not. Good for you. Stand by your guns. But be sure if you're going to be a pretentious prick, all right, that you get it right. Because when you come to me and say, I can't support you because of this, I have to remove my patronage because of this, and it turns out that didn't even happen on my channel or involve me, it makes you look really bad, at least in my eyes. And that I've been dealing with stress. She's not the only person to send me that message. Multiple people have sent me messages like that. Not necessarily regarding patronage, but to say I can no longer support you because you called Sean out. That was the first group of messages that came in. I can no longer support you because you called Sean out. And I was like, okay, I did what I thought was right. We all hold consequences for the actions we take, even when they're good actions. I feel like I was being held to consequences for stuff that I should have done. And I did it because I felt like I should have done it. But all those things just added up and add and add and add and add. And along with the stresses of, the $4,000 that I just had to come up off of for one purchase, $4,000. It's been a little bit more than that total. It's for my entire investments, around about $7,000 into myself. And that's stressful, because that's $7,000 I would have had in my pocket. Instead, someone else is holding it, and I don't have anything in return for, a couple of months. But anyway, it's been stressful. And I've worked on videos, and they just didn't come out right. I didn't put them out because you could see the stress in my eyes. You could hear it in my voice. It was, I don't know.
There's been a lot going on, and the whole pandemic thing has not helped by any means. What I do with my videos is I do them for me, to have fun, to pass time and whatnot. And there are times where I stress over it. Just because, I want to have a video out on a certain deadline or something, so I stress over it a little bit. But my videos are so all over the place. I cover one subject and then I cover another subject, so I don't even know where I'm going as far as my stuff goes. But I make sure that when I do it, I have fun for myself before I make it fun for other people. And I don't know if that's the route I shouldn't be going, but if you're having fun while doing it and you're making yourself happy while doing it, don't worry about the others, because you enjoyed what you were doing in that time. And just like any job out there, you want to enjoy your job. It's not a job if you're having fun. So
right, which I guess is why my 14-hour stream did not seem like 14 hours, and I think back on it, I had a lot of fucking fun, Yeah. Like 14 hours, that was an amazing 14. You weren't there, were you? I don't remember.
There at the end.
That was crazy.
It was me, Tony, and you. And it turned.
We're talking about 2 nights ago. Yeah, right? Y'all said y'all love me? I don't even remember y'all telling me you love me.
No.
For probably about 2 hours, and then I came back.
Dude, you were doing the drunk cuddles and everything.
Was I really? I was going drunk love because I love you guys.
Oh, there's gonna be a story on Monday on the plot hole. You gave me a really good news story idea, so look for that.
I do have to point something out real quick. This is the first time that Little Wolf has been on camera on a live stream.
No way.
Yeah.
First time.
I broke your cherry, Little Wolf. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm kind of have bad from the pressure and all, but you might as well.
All right, that was that was a good effort.
Something.
Yeah, that was
it was choppy, but you tried.
I think the camera's wrecking your voice.
I'll interpret. I sometimes talk sled puller. I believe he said something. He was feeling pressure from everyone else, and so he caved and came on. I believe that's what that interprets to.
All right, let me read some super chats out before we get to you guys. I had to vent. Okay, because I've had a couple of people ask, "Hey, where?"
I got to rally.
Huh? Oh, right. Go ahead. I had a couple of people ask, "Hey, why haven't you put out a lot of material lately?" And it's basically that's been the reason. I've been really stressed, guys. Really, really, really stressed. And it's not a big deal. I'll get over it. I'm a tough guy. I can handle it. But I also understand there's people out there that might struggle with shit like this. And hey, if you're struggling with it, man, reach out to me. I can, or woman, it doesn't matter. When I say man, dude, it's non-gender specific.
Bro, whatever.
Bro.
Bro.
Hey, recently I had a chick over, right? And she was a couple of people know who she is. She's a friend of mine. Her name's Frack Trash.
Let me get my calendar app out.
Yeah, write that down and mark the days. But I call her bro. I'm like, yeah, hey bro, hey yo, what up, bro? But it's just because I say it. It's like not. to me, it's not gender specific, you know, like it's just a term, like a term of endearment. Cygnus ST or TSP for $10. I can't. I can't. Okay, yes, I can. Thank you very much, Cygnus ST. You're at TSP. You're amazing. Frank Perry for $5. I think everyone here should go subscribe to Irish Demon and Irish Demon Reloaded. Worth the $5, even though he is probably sleeping. Thanks, team. Frank Perry, I 100% agree with you. We should all go subscribe to Irish Demon and Irish Demon Reloaded. Great friend, man. That dude's a cool dude. Me and him are good friends. Behind closed doors, we don't always, talk in public. That's not the only place we have conversations. We actually have conversations behind closed doors. The same way me and Fohammer do, and, me and a lot of people do. So, I want to tell you, Irish Demon's a good dude. He deserves your subscription. Cygnus TSP for $5. Team, try bashing penny stock investors. If I was financially, if I understood the financial markets better, I could, because it's mostly math. It's math and how to explain it.
I wish I understood all that stuff. Like, I would love to invest. I do not understand it worth crap. I know when my 401k plan, I went into like a medium high risk thing and it helped out. But man, there's some things I would love to invest in and make some money on. I'm just too dumb with
Shout out to anybody out there that fucking invested in Dogecoin. My brother bought $35 worth of Dogecoin when it was a quarter of a penny a piece. It's now sitting at 66 cents.
Damn.
That's a lot of money.
That's a lot. That's 4 times 66. That would be 264. 264 times. He paid $35 for his I think it's like 11,000 stock or 11,000 coins or whatever. And now
I'm gonna point out something Surf said in the chat that I should have said, and it was kind of bothering me that yes, you are promoting Irish Demon, who's one of our nemesis.
Oh, don't worry. Next Friday, I'm having the 4 Beardsmen on. The 4 Beardsmen are coming on. Oh, okay. So
I have 3 of their beards that I've collected.
You can promote them next Friday, not tonight.
Nothing.
All right.
Yeah. Don't promote.
Yeah.
Just don't even do it.
Surf says, I was told not to get Dogecoin. Now I'm sad. Well, it is. It's a risk, of course. And with Dogecoin, that's a meme coin, so it doesn't really hold any intrinsic value. It's kind of like a Pokemon card. There's Pokemon cards out there worth 10 grand. Well, look at the card. It's just cardboard and ink. But it's the rarity and the, in this case, like there's people like Tesla that are promoting Dogecoin and promoting these other types of coins for use in payments in upcoming ventures. So we were talking about, I don't know if we were talking about it here or somewhere else, and someone had told me that the Tesla cars are about to start a new thing where you can register your Tesla car to basically be an Uber driver while you're at work. Mm-hmm. So you drive up at work, you park your car, crazy. You log in, you say, send my car off to do work, and your car goes out and makes money while you sit at work. Now, the way that they're talking about paying for these things is through coins, through the Dogecoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin. You can already use Bitcoin to go shop at Tesla right now. That's how, when I first started, I was like, nah, stay away from those. The government will never allow deregulated finance to strive in this country. And right now, guys, there are states that are taking excessive budgets and purchasing Bitcoin because of the future implications that are, go along with the possibilities of Bitcoin. It's crazy.
I got a question on this end. So you
I'm not
go
a professional.
To work in your Tesla, and you send your Tesla out to go pick up people and make money for you throughout the day. And then when you're done, your Tesla comes back and now has no more battery power for you to get home.
I don't know how it's going to work. Yeah, I don't know if it goes and charges up between at stations between things, or if it just knows that, hey, I got to stop and go get charged. I mean, right now we can write programs.
Who will then plug them in, or is it going to be like
I don't know,
something like some big huge wireless pad that it parks over? And
I have no idea. All those sound like great ideas.
Wait, is Elon Musk involved now?
You heard it here first. Give me that money.
The way I heard it was working is that they are automating a charger and the car. So the charger port will pop open and a charger will actually go into it. But I don't know how accurate that is, because it was just
But
I mean,
as far as
bashing
bashing
investors,
penny
like,
stock investors, there's a lot of people out there that do take advantage of people. So here's my suggestion to y'all. If you decide you ever want to get into investing, never invest more than you're capable of losing and still surviving.
Right.
That's the only suggestion I'll ever give you about investing money.
I'd be
Because
one of
I'm
those
not an
people
investor.
I'd be one of those
And
people
then
who
go
would
invest in McDonald's.
Investing in McDonald's back in the day was probably a really great idea.
Right.
Oh yeah.
I'd be one of those people who'd invest, and 2 weeks later I'd see that it jumped up, and I'd probably pull right away and get my money out because I'd be too nervous that it'd crash like a week later, and then 5 months down the road it'd be like 50,000 more than what I pulled out at.
Oh, I was told it.
You said pull out.
Yeah, you did say pull out.
You
I was
pulled
told
out.
it. I was told when Bitcoin was $4,000 a coin to get in on this, and I was like, never will it ever be better than this, guys. You're talking about $4,000 for 1 unit of something. You're not able to buy a hamburger for any portion of $4,000. Like, you can't, like, it just wouldn't make sense. But now I understand it a little bit more. 4,000 is just the unit for a full Bitcoin. There's actually, you know, mini micro Bitcoins and whatnot, which are just the Bitcoin divided by 1,000.
Kind of like how $1 is 100
or millibitcoins. Right, exactly. But they never really. It's not physical money, so you don't ever think of it like that, you know.
Right.
You don't because you don't ever
you
think
of
to
a
yourself
coin that you're gonna break apart somehow.
Exactly. That's what it all comes down to. But now it's hitting 57, 58.
They do have physical coins, right?
No.
Oh, so it is all digital.
It's it's decentralized finance. So there's no bank, there's no governing body to it. There's literally just the people that maintain the coin.
You can buy a physical copy of it, but it's only a physical copy and it doesn't mean shit.
Right. Okay.
So you store it on a wallet, basically, something that has a algorithm that you actually have to have your computer solve to access it. Very poor explanation of what it actually is, but it works
very
for this
poor
purpose.
I used to do a lot of mining.
I do a lot of mining still. Your coin is held in that wallet, protected by that algorithm. And whenever you decide to sell it, you're selling your digital version of your coin. If you lose your key to access that wallet, which is the solution to the algorithm, basically, it's gone. You can't access it. It's
gone.
There's somebody who has
that's messed up.
A couple $100 million in Bitcoin, and he can't get to it because he lost his key. I think that's actually more now because he. It is $100 million 3 years ago.
Yes.
So this.
That was when it was about 4,000 a coin.
So get this. There is a story about a gentleman named the Dread Pirate Roberts. Okay, if any of y'all are familiar with it, it was back when the website The Silk Road was really popular. This was the creator of The Silk Road. Was a gentleman who went by the moniker Dread Pirate Roberts. Right. There's some email interactions between a guy who scammed him, and basically it's a huge story. Like, you definitely go watch the Dread Pirate Roberts guy. He is in prison right now for all of this. So hope he's enjoying it. There's supposedly he was set up, but no, he wasn't set up. He's absolutely did it. So anyway, they started making hand over fist on this website on the Silk Road. It was a way to exchange drugs completely anonymously. So if it was impossible. The law enforcement knew it was coming in, knew where it was coming in from, but the way the website was designed, the way everything was designed, it was completely anonymous. You really couldn't track them. And so this guy scammed the owner of that, said, oh, so-and-so's threatening to release all of the customer information and all the vendors' informations that he had access to unless he was going to get some money out of it. He said, my life isn't threatened. I've got to go on the run. I will release all this if you don't give me enough money to live off in the run. It was all set up, guys. All set up. So then he gets in contact with the people that this guy owes the money to, the fake people, by the way, who are supposedly Hell's Angels. They said they would perform a hit on him for, I think it was 1,500 Bitcoin. At the time, that was $150,000.
Damn.
Do you know what 1,500 Bitcoin represents right now? Close to $56 million.
Yeah.
$56 million. And that was the first half of the hit. Then the guy who scammed him came back and was like, all right, we got some information. There's another guy also that's threatening to do this. What would you like us to do with him? And of course the answer was, hit him. Okay, that'll cost you another 1,500 Bitcoins. Another $56 million. That guy, okay, and they didn't recover all the Bitcoin. That guy, if he was to save that, would be sitting on over $150 million right now, to something that probably cost $250,000 at the time. Oh my God. It's a crazy story. Go watch it. It's a good story. Lots of people have reported on it. There's some great information about the history of that. Now, let's talk about the beards, or I almost said the beardsmen. Yeah, y'all want to talk shit? Hold on. Y'all have something to say to the beardsmen? I'm sure there's beardsmen watching right now. Go ahead. Let me give y'all free reign. Uncensored free reign. Oh, man.
Learn to grow a fucking beard.
Yeah.
They don't even all have a beard. Yeah.
PhD daddy.
PhD Tony's beard is transparent, guys. Leave him alone.
PhD daddy.
I've collected 3 of the beardsmen's beards. 2 from debates and 1 from being a better drinker.
Oh, wait. When did you do the better drinker beard? I'll drink that beard back from you.
Come on. Hey, I even challenge you guys for the drinking.
When I came
drink
on
the beard
Thursday morning.
Well, speaking of PhD daddy.
Yeah, PhD daddy right there. What up, Tony?
Yeah,
no, it's PhD giggles.
Yeah.
Giggles.
Sorry, anyways, go with your story.
Nobody remembers that. That was my nickname that I gave PhD Tony during our conversation. Because I drank as much as PhD Tony did in about a fourth of the time. And I was still completely sober.
Steve 6464, I would love that to happen. We can debate, do we have real beards because we're younger and better looking? Or do they have real beards because they're older and more decrepit?
Tony could not grow a beard if he tried to.
Well, I know.
No, you fucking can't, swords. Tony. Calm down.
I know we have the better swords.
We do.
The other 4 can't find them.
Better slash smaller. Better slash smaller.
No. Long enough to reach your heart. Second and third intercostal rib.
Do you really have a sword if you have to lift your belly to find it?
Depends how big your belly is.
This is true.
No, but I love all of them. They're just fun to troll. Really easy to troll, too.
Yeah.
Y'all are like the worst shit talkers ever, by the way.
That's literally why we started. It's because of those idiots.
Oh, those idiots! Oh, where's my dinger at? Oh, God.
Ding.
Hold on. I've got it somewhere. There we go.
We're shit talkers.
There you go.
Thank you.
Somebody did see my debate with fucking Irish Demon.
Well, Irish Demon is it's impossible for him to lose a debate. I am arguing here for the four beardsmen. Why am I arguing with the 4 swordsmen for the four beardsmen when they could come on and argue for themselves if they weren't all a bunch of poons? And I can tell they're a bunch of poons because they're in the chat and won't come on.
The thing is, half the time they're not even doing their stuff as a group. Usually 1 or 2 of them are always missing.
Well, that's the difference between them and you guys. They all stand on each other's feet. You guys need each other to hold each other up.
No. we actually like one another, to be around one another, to make sure to be there for our stream. I don't know what's going on in the background with those guys.
A 4-man Dutch rudder. It's that happens only once in a blue moon.
Literally wants to go around and talk to ghosts. I mean,
well, J.L. Warren does. Yeah, J.L. Warren is definitely a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Jail Ward wants to go on a ghost gun hunt when we go down to Texas. I don't know how he's going to hunt him down, but
So
that guy's weird.
Tony was thirsty.
I'll be running
Tony
around
was
the background
very,
with some
very
little pebbles,
thirsty
just throwing them.
during your 16-hour stream. Now, being Tony's a bit older, he knows the term as randy. He was very randy during your stream, but man, I don't think there wasn't one person he wasn't trying to go after in that stream.
Wait, he was going after people?
Yeah, he named all four of us.
He wanted me. He was, I mean, wow. He was a thirsty dude.
Hey, he didn't come
when I came on, he told me that he thought I was very attractive.
We are good. I'm going to grab a beer. I'll be back.
Hashtag get PhD Tony laid, guys.
That's got to drink, though.
You're going to try to get Tony laid? Do you understand what you've already committed yourself to just now by saying that? That is as impossible of a task as defining
the
pie.
Thing is, you got to think about how long he's already lived throughout this universe that we have that much more time to go to try to find him.
All right, when you say you're going to get him laid, you're going to find him a sexual partner, you're going to take him to Hawaii to have them throw the flowers over his shoulder.
No, we'll find
you
him
have a better chance of getting him to Hawaii with flowers over his shoulder than you do of finding him a partner.
Well, I was thinking more kind of push him into one of the volcanoes that Joey Rocha denies exists, but same thing, really.
Tony, I almost called him Tony Rocha.
See, there you go.
PhD Tony. PhD Tony is sitting there telling 6 females right now to calm down to while he gets his mic set up and puts on clothes. He's like, I got to put these little guys down. I got to put these children down. I got to show these children how to do it. I wouldn't be surprised, but he probably gets more than all of us put together. He does have a PhD, so let's not forget that.
They're the only people who are actually real is the ones who have PhDs.
Yeah. What? Would it be easier? Let me ask you a question. Would it be easier to get Tony to Hawaii to be laid by a necklace of flowers, or would it be easier to get him laid by a fleshlight?
Ooh, that fleshlight might just crumble to dust.
Well, see, probably the Hawaii one, because they're already laying you when you come off the airplane. They don't really have a full chance to absorb.
You're making the assumption that PhD Tony will allow a non-PhD to get that close to him.
This is true.
He just has to go to Thailand. They all have PhDs there.
Everybody has PhDs in Thailand. Yeah.
So we got to watch out, Angel Gamer in the chat there. Does he put his partners to sleep? I don't know if that's how we're coming about to say that's the only way he can get laid, but that's we gotta watch out.
I bet Tony walks around with a folded paper in his back, a folded stack of papers in his back pocket, and those papers are the latest PhD, whatever they're called, submitted to science. I can't think of what it's called. The papers. What do the PhDs write a paper?
Peer review papers.
Yes, of course it's peer reviewed. Dissertation. There we go. Yeah. He walks around with a dissertation so that when a chick starts to deny him, he just reads it out to her until she's asleep on the bar. And then he's like, yeah, she's a friend of mine. We love you, Tony. We love you.
I do like what D Rabbits is saying. This is one thing that I definitely want to do. When everyone comes here to the U.S. to hang out,
white papers.
I do want to get the 4 beardsmen into the wind tunnel, because there is nothing more beautiful than seeing a beard like this on someone's face as they're flying. Tony, we might have to super glue one onto you so we can get a picture like that. But the other guys, it's hilarious.
JL and Johnny.
Now, I am Steez says perhaps he, talking about PhD Tony, blindfolds them. I am Steez, I think you forget what the problem is. Tony's not a bad-looking individual.
No.
I mean, I'm being nice here.
He's not a bad Australian blokes.
Yeah, he is. He has that accent that Clive Wells wishes he had. But that's not the problem. It's the moment that he begins speaking to them. It's almost as if every person he speaks to has oh God, I am struggling so hard today with words. What is it when you go to sleep automatically?
Words are hard.
Like if you're
Words
an
are-
insomniac
Wednesdays.
or not,
Whiskey Wednesdays, yeah. Narcolepsy. I remember it now. Narcolepsy.
There we go.
Tony believes there's a worldwide pandemic of narcoleptic people because every person he speaks to just falls asleep on the spot.
And what he said out in the chat: when boring, fat, old, ugly douches like myself say someone is handsome, pretty, it is not a sexual advance. But when you say you want to fuck us, it is.
All right, I'll stop telling people that then. Why kick a moo cow? I'm sorry, I did not mean to upset you with that. Let me see. I missed a few. Why kick a moo cow 855 for $5 Team up with PhD Tony for PhD Tony reviews. The premise is that we vote on the worst movie or book for Tony to shout and swear about.
Yes, fucking you can.
Yes. Yes, you can, Tony. Bella charge.
Tier 3.
Bella charge for $2 New Zealand. What up, fuckers? What up, Bella? Cygnus TSP for $2. No super chat reading till the end. Yes, sir. Regios $5. Is this another 15-hour stream? Where's the liquor? No.
I held my beers up.
I got coffee.
I still have Crown. If I have to drink with you guys, I will have a sip or two, but I'm not. This is not going to turn into a Whiskey Wednesday affair.
I could do what you do with shots while drinking beer the entire way through it. That's a challenge.
And then PhD Tony, who's been absolutely quiet. He didn't want to put everybody to sleep with your chats. PhD Tony, you won't put people to sleep by chatting in the live chat. Only when you speak. It is an audible cue that man has evolved to just go to sleep to. So thank you, Tony, for your contributions to the sleepy society of the world. I'm surprised you all survived that stream, says Gabby. Huh?
I've subliminally I can't say the word.
You pass it on to Steve.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Subliminal?
I became smarter listening to Tony, just going to sleep. Yes.
Yeah.
That word.
Yeah, that's what I've said too. Is like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword with Tony. You fall asleep because of him, but your brain still takes in the information, so you are learning from him. So it's kind of like, it's good in two ways.
And honestly,
until he starts yelling.
For those of you that like, it's Fuck It Fridays. That's what we're doing today. We're doing Fuck It Friday, Whiskey Wednesday, Fuck It Friday, and Skeptic Sunday. That's. Okay, so with Tony, here's the thing about Tony is like if you're into the debunks that go along with young Earth creationism, you should go watch his channel. Yeah. He has some great videos out. Extremely smart individual. We're giving him a hard time, but even Tony knows that everybody up here loves him. We wouldn't be able to sleep without him. So very much appreciating Tony's contribution to this community. Who are these older women whose cleavage YouTube keeps showing me? Some kind of weight loss ad. Anybody know them? That comes from Mandelbrot set.
I think that's Team Skeptic and
Wait, what I missed?
And all of his friends, but they have some of the tatas.
Yeah, and PhD Tony's done. I see you, Harry7 says, PhD Tony, I listened to Crafty's whole stream today and appreciate what you've done to protect various people in the community and doing what you think is right. I want to say, before all of this happened, before everything went down, PhD Tony had already told me what he felt about other people. These people like PhD Tony, Crafty Keela, Jessica G, a few of the other people that were wronged, they've been screaming this from the hilltops for a long time now, and nobody would listen to them. So big shout out to everybody involved over there for speaking out as to what happened to them. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I do want to address this real quick because this came up during when I came on right at the end of Whiskey Wednesday. PhD Tony said that he felt regret for not doing more. And I want it stated categorically for the record that he could not have possibly done any more than he already did. And this entire community should be on their knees thanking him, preferably while his little floppy bits are out.
Cough, cough.
Yeah.
Because of what he did. And because of what Jessica G did.
I say that, you know, looking back on it and trying to look at it from an outside point of view, I think that I gave a lot of people a voice when I spoke out against Reds. I think there were a lot of people that either didn't want to speak out against him or didn't want to believe other people, which is fine. You know, we are a group of skeptics here. We shouldn't just immediately buy the story that someone's trying to sell us. Let's make sure the story's real first, you know, and legit. And a lot of people didn't listen to Tony.
I'm still sitting back listening to everything.
Yep.
Me too.
There's still stuff coming out. I'm not going to listen to what Unirock has to say about it because he's been right, what, twice? Whereas Tony's been screaming this, like you said, from the start.
Yeah.
But Unirock felt vindicated to sit on the information for a fucking year before releasing it. No. Fuck you, Uni. You don't get to do that.
Yeah.
You want to go support somebody, go support Tony and what he did. Go support Crafty. Go support that group of people.
And I've said it from the beginning. We should not. Yeah, we shouldn't not give credit where credit's due. He has been saying this for a long time, and that's where I'm going to leave it there because I don't want people to think that it was me who first did everything. First off, I was brought all the information from negative exponents. It had nothing to do with Unirock. It was all negative exponents. I don't even know how much of the information Unirock got on his own without getting it from negative exponents, but I'm not going to assume anything, you know.
I mean,
I also need to say that
go ahead.
My views on Uni are my views.
Mm-hmm.
They do not reflect anything on Team, Tanner, Wolf, or Steve. They are my own thoughts. They are my own words.
I want to say this. I've decided, from my perspective, to kind of let go of any kind of arguments I held with people prior to everything coming out. I'm going to reset the way I feel about everybody. I'm just going to start over. We're clean slating it from the beginning. Doesn't mean you're going to see me on uni streams or anything like that. But even when it comes to him and other people, like, I understand why you and him don't like each other. Like, he said some fucked up things about him. You've said some fucked up things about, he said some fucked up things about you. You said some fucked up things about him. I think y'all can maybe not work yourself out when it comes to that. But I'm not holding my breath for it. You know, I'm not waiting for you guys to like each other. I think everybody should be able to like or dislike the people they want to like and dislike. You should be able to support or not support the person that you feel like you want to support and not support. There shouldn't be a damn person out there that judges you for that. So when I go and I say, I give the credit because I think that we did a huge indiscretion by allowing all this to go on. And the reason we allowed it all to go on is because the only person that was really saying this outside of, when it comes to Ilya Moon and everything, of course, Jessica G and Crafty and all them were saying this, but with the Sean situation, there wasn't anybody saying it but Uni. And we disregarded what he was saying. I'm not a big Uni fan. That's not what I'm coming out to say. What I'm coming out to say is that we as a skeptic community should step up and realize that even if we don't like somebody, they can have the correct information at times. And he got it right about Sean. He got it right about Ilya Moon. But a few people did that don't like each other. Crafty and Jessica don't like Uni. Uni doesn't like Crafty and Jessica. They both came to that same conclusion about Ilya.
Yeah. Now, I do want to point out that Lauren in the chat has a more accurate depiction of what I was trying to say, but failed miserably at doing so because I didn't make the differentiate. The difference between what Tony and that crowd was saying and what Unirock was saying. So I do have to give her credit for calling me out on that.
Well, I'll say like this. PhD Tony makes a really good point. Jessica G didn't just call it out when it happened. She called it out before it happened. She said, this person is going to do this. And by end of day, that person had done that. She nailed it. And she's got to be given at least some credit. If we're going to give Unirock credit, we got to give Crafty and Jessica G credit as well. Because
Agreed.
I love Crafty Keela and Jessica G. I'm indifferent about Uni. My problems with Uni had to do with Steve because I was like, look, Steve's a friend of mine. Don't involve me in all this. And he agreed, yeah, sure, I respect your opinion. I won't try to force this on you. And then it was ... but. And then it was message after message after message after message as to why I shouldn't like Steve. And I'm like, come on, dude. Like, anybody out there can say the same thing about you. And I still choose to not hold that against you.
That's where my issue with him falls into play. I'm relatively new to the community. I didn't really start, like, I started to follow some of the debunk community in August. I started injecting myself a bit more in late September and creating stuff in December. But from what I've gathered through certain things, you know, I will give Uni credit, and I'm good there. My only problem that I've had with him, and it's because of experiences in the past, is it does seem that he specifically just digs constantly over and over.
Yeah.
With drama. You know,
well, he's a drama channel. He's a drama channel.
My roommate follows makeup tutorial channels, and Uni's involved with the drama on that side, and so that's where I have the issue, and I think that's why people weren't wanting to listen to him. So for all those people, Uni was right, he's vindicated. It's like, he may have been right, but he's focused on drama, and that's what the issue is. Like,
well,
I don't want to even acknowledge someone who only survives off of drama, and where I also have issues with certain things. And I'm not saying people are guilty of this in the community. There's some who are, some who aren't. But when
well, let me ask you, Tanner. Let me ask you a question, okay? As a supporter of Fight the Flat Earth, and I am, Fight the Flat Earth does this exact same thing, but he does it with flat earthers and debates. So why are we holding that against Uni but giving Fight a pass? And hey, I support Fight. I support Fight. Right. I'm playing devil's advocate here. And it only said this because 3 Ron's $2 super chat. It says problem with Uni is that he had already poisoned his own well, which I do agree with you, 3 Ron. I agree with you. All right, go ahead.
Here's what I would say with the Fight the Flat Earth and this is, when you go to him, you know he's dealing with flat Earth stuff. And you know that he's clearly doing the drama within the flat earthers of flat Earth. Uni seems to kind of be mixed in a bunch of different areas and pulling drama where he can to continue to survive. And it's like he's injecting himself in places where he's not.
Well,
really
I'll say a lot of his opinions come from the fact that he doesn't like Steve. He does not like Steve, and so I think that with Unirock, he kind of sees Steve as a target, but Steve's not. He doesn't just want to treat Steve as a target. So then he spreads the target out. I was a target for a while. Fight was a target. Reds was a target. Sean was a target. Anybody that had any association with Steve became a target for Uni. And I'm not here to blame him on that. Like I said, okay, let me clarify something. I said everybody gets a clean slate. There's only one person out there that doesn't. Well, no. There's several people, but they all are involved with this one person. It's the only people that won't get the fucking clean slate, and that's Reds and his crew. I don't think they're coming back. Slice Barcane can suck my dick. That's, to be honest with you, that's the way I feel about him, the way they treated me on Twitter, because I fucking reported on this and I was told that I was wrong because I didn't reach out to Sean and Reds and all them. Reds had me blocked. Sean wasn't talking to me. How the fuck am I supposed to reach out to anybody to verify all this? So fuck off, Sly, and keep defending Sean and on Twitter over and over and over and over again. It's making you look dumber and dumber and dumber. And I'm losing even more respect for you than I did when you came back at me with this ridiculousness. Okay? The other person that doesn't get a fucking pass. I don't give a fuck how cool your fucking pictures are, guys view. Guess which skeptic, and I'll put myself on camera so I can get behind the words I'm speaking right now. Guess whose cock you can suck? This guy's. Because the first thing when I called Uni out, when I called Sean out, the first thing you did was you called me a unitard, a Unirock ball rider, and a dick rider is what I believe your exact words were. Fuck you. I never even had to even talk to Unirock at that point. It was only negative exponents. Negative exponents gave me the shit, the evidence, and guess what I told him? I wouldn't accept this evidence unless I go and I see it for myself. Everything I saw for myself. They only pointed me out where to look. When they pointed me out where to look, I went looking there. There was the evidence. All right. So everybody gets a clean slate. Unirock, we've had our differences in the past. I'm not saying you're my friend, but I'm saying that I'm not going to be talking bad about you for things that have happened prior to today. We've had our disagreements. I'm willing to put those all behind me. That's that. And you know this. Him and I have had a couple of conversations behind the scenes to say, look, I wasn't involved with this shit that went on with Sean. I haven't really spoke to him except for about the whole Sean thing. I told him I didn't think the Bullionator fundraiser was anything fucked up about it. You know, I said, hey, let me be clear. Sean scammed everybody, but I don't think that you got the Bullionator thing right. I told him that up front. He disagreed with me. That's fine. That's his choice. But everybody but Reds, Sly Sparkane, no clean slate with me and you, Sly. Guys, eat my shit. That's all I got to say. We'll leave it at that. You three will never be in my conversation again unless you're brought up by somebody else. You can all eat shit, and I hope you three learned a lesson from the crow that you've had to eat recently. All right. Now, as far as everybody else goes, I don't have a problem with anybody. We're going to move forward. We're going to be drama-free as much as possible. Go ahead.
I'm going to kind of change gears real quick. Now talking about us again.
Okay, yeah. It evolves. Conversation evolves. That's what.
Yeah. You should, if you haven't seen, which I assume you haven't, come by the Swordsman channel. Our conversations kind of go all over the place, so we're used to this. We're good.
And everybody is welcome in the Swordsman. I need to say this. I do not hate anybody for any of the content they put out. I don't hate people for talking about me. I can dislike people, but I don't hate them. But they are still welcome in our community.
is the only one that's not liked.
Exactly. The four swordsmen are inclusive to everybody. It's not a we like you unless. It's not a we allow you in unless.
I want to address something in the chat. God's Auditor, who I do consider a friend, good dude, says, I think you're being a little harsh here. I don't think I am, God's Auditor, okay? I don't think I am. I think after I said what I said, and I stopped even responding to the people on Twitter, and they relentlessly attacked me for calling out my so-called friend, who he was my friend from their point of view, not from anybody else's outside of the people criticizing me. Sean was my friend. I should have gone to him, including Manya, Golden Unicorn. She can eat shit too. She went on a fucking tirade of nothing but blaming me, and I was right the whole time. So honestly, I would appreciate people not trying to defend pieces of shit in the chat. Okay, if you want to approach me about something like that I said, everybody's welcome to approach me behind the scenes through Discord or whatever the case. But when you're going to be making comments like that, God's Auditor, publicly, I feel like I should be publicly addressing them. They were your friends. I can understand how you feel, and I'm not here to blame you or chastise you for feeling that way. But those people are pieces of shit, okay? You might be okay with them because you're still on their little inside, but those people are pieces of shit. I called one of them out, and I was right, and they attacked me for no reason, simply because I was calling them out. So, fuck those people. They can eat shit. I have no love for them. Those three people will never, ever be... I'll never forgive them for anything. I don't need to. They're insignificant to me. They have their own lives. I have mine. I don't need to forgive them. They talk shit and was fucking fucked up, and good for them. Happy that they're have no fucking critical thinking whatsoever, but they can eat my shit, and that's just being real. All right, I'm sorry I cut you guys off. We were talking about the four swordsmen. I just don't like. Fine. Am I wrong? Am I being harsh here? Like the way they've treated me? Am I being harsh by not saying, "Oh, all is forgiven, everybody. Let's all be friends"? I don't even know these people in real life, but let's all be friends after everything you've said about me.
I've only a little bit. No, I try to stay out of drama as much as I can, and I've accidentally injected myself into it, and that was not my intent. I I know that every single person here on the
Motherfucker,
panel,
you're in every argument you can try and put yourself in.
Who, me or
mostly
him?
when it comes to flat earthers.
No,
Bring him up, Paul.
Hammer.
No, and you're right, God's
Mostly
Auditor.
when it
It
comes to
doesn't. Hold
flat
on. You're right, God's Auditor. It doesn't help. But the thing is I don't want it to help. I am saying that all people outside of that little group right there, I will drop all personal feelings, negative feelings towards those people. We'll start over from the beginning. The only people that I will not do that for is Geistview, Sly Sparkane, or Red's Frederick. Everybody else, they can come to me and we can have a conversation. They don't even have to apologize to me. Just come have a conversation. Don't use Twitter as your way to attack me because it makes you look fucking super petty. Johan Roderick, my mind, man. Team Skeptic is my favorite drama channel. I am not a drama channel. What up, Insidious Vids? Good to see you.
You are when you
And
drink.
hey, God's Auditor, I want to tell you something, man. I love you, bro. I love you big time. In fact, to show you how much I care about you and how much of a friend and how much I appreciate your opinion, I made you a mod. Oh my God. He's a mod, guys. But let's see. I'm not mending fences, God's Auditor. That's the problem. I'm not here to mend fences. They're the ones that did me wrong. If they want to come back and apologize for doing me wrong or have that conversation with me, sure, I'll have the conversation. I'm not going to go out of my way to set that up, though. I don't owe them anything. I was nothing but loyal to that entire group. I owe them nothing. Now, if they want to come back to me and say, hey, I did this, even if they want to come to me and say, I still feel you were wrong, that's fine. But we either move the fuck around or let's come to an agreement and keep moving forward. As far as Unirock goes, I'm not going to be talking about Unirock. He means nothing to this channel or to me. He's just another content creator. But I'm also not going to say moving forward that because any content creator is out there and I don't like that content creator or I have issues with that content creator, I'm just going to immediately discount what they say. Because that's what happened. And look at when we did that as a community, when we did that, look what happened. Sean got away with it for over a year. Ilya got away with it for I don't know how many months.
Yeah.
So I'm going to kind of interject myself into this in between you guys. God's Auditor, you know I love you. We're on VTW frequently together. Let's just handle this later.
Agreed. All right. Johan Roderick again, 199. Joke, obviously. Nah, man, fuck that. We're doing drama moving forward because of Johan Roderick. Stephen Alley for $2. Don't let teams suck you, though. You might get stuck in the gap. First off, if you get stuck in my tooth gap because I'm sucking you off, then you are dealing with another. There's a disease out there called small pee-pee syndrome. You have it, okay?
Micro PP.
So
I'm micro pee-pee. I like that.
I'm going to take it back to us because there's two people from the panel we really haven't heard much from. Specifically our Upside Down and our Little Wolf.
So one, get fucked. I'm here. I talk.
Well,
Barely.
hold on.
I'm only here to troll. I made our channel.
Where's Little
That's
Wolf at?
why we are who we are.
He's here.
Yeah, he ran away. He's cocking his
Little
leg.
Wolf has
I think I'm
terrible
here.
internet right now.
Yeah, Little.
Yeah,
I
there
heard
you
him. I heard him. Johan Roderick
I'm
for
full screen a sexy guy.
$1.99.
You
Johan Roderick for $1.99. Hashtag micro PP. What up, Ted Dizzle, my dude? That's a brother, guys. That's my brother right there. Dropping in to show some love. Can't stay playing Warzone Customs right now. Take care, Ted. Maybe later tonight. Maybe later tonight you and I can get together. And God's Auditor, don't worry about it, man. I'm coming down off anesthesia and haven't eaten in 2 days. Go get some food. And trust me, God's Auditor, I respect and commend what you're trying to do. I really do. So you and I can have that conversation later. It's not a big deal. Much love for you, okay? Much love. All right. Team Skeptic from D Rabbits. Freenham stuck in a tooth. Trust me, you do not want that. Yeah, you could get little tiny parts of skin caught between my tooth gap, and that probably would be even more painful than just losing the whole,
Oh my God. Free
frank.
circumcision.
Right.
So the reason why
There you
it's small is
go.
because Team Shift stuck in his tooth gap.
Oh my god.
Shout out to Crafty Keela out there.
Crafty's definitely a big supporter of the Swordsmen, and we definitely love her. I can say that wholeheartedly from all four of us. And our channel would not be possible without Mute Donkey and without Surf.
I like Mute Donkey.
Two,
I like Mute Donkey.
Yeah.
Good dude.
For those
They're
who don't,
they're Knights of the Globe table.
Seriously, it's more Surf than Mute Donkey. He's only our producer.
Yeah, but again,
Surf does nothing, but he's the most important part.
But let me reiterate something. I love Mute Donkey. Okay. Do I need to replace Mute Donkey with Not Surf? I love Not Surf. No, Surf knows I love him. Ooh woo, Surf. Ooh woo. That's all I gotta say.
And there's other friends of the channel that we have, and we're going to try to get them all on during our 100 sub special. We just passed 100 subs.
Yep.
I don't know why people want to listen to us, but we sit around and we bullshit for an hour and a half every Saturday. Everybody
This is literally what we do.
Every
we talk
Wednesday.
about things.
What? Let's talk about every Wednesday, though. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh, fuck you and your Wednesdays. That turns out to be a Thursday for me, or a Friday.
You know, I used to stream earlier on Wednesdays, and then Team started to do this whole Whiskey Wednesday thing and made me bump mine back later in the day.
Dude, I locked up the streaming schedule from Wednesday 6 p.m. Central to Thursday 10 a.m. Central.
No,
Do not stream
well
during that time. Someone else is streaming.
I was streaming at 6:30 on Wednesdays, and then you started to do 6:30 on Wednesdays, and I had to bump mine back.
Well, I've always done Wednesdays. But mostly it's 6 to 6:30.
You weren't, so I thought, oh, no one does anything on Wednesdays. Let me go.
No, you know why?
Then you said, you know what? I'm such a humble guy.
That's what I did say that. I honestly, listen, I know that I talk about my humility 8 to 10 times an hour. Okay. Multiply that by 2 if I'm online.
I mean, humble.
If I'm live. Exactly. Humility, humbleness. It's all the same words to a humble person like myself.
Does anybody have that photo that we made with Team and Beadsman?
Oh, that's somewhere in one of our.
I don't have that one.
Somebody needs to make one of those. One of those.
I've got it.
You got to make one of those Pornhub pictures with Jail Warren sitting in front of just a bunch of pictures of me.
We have a better one.
Oh yeah, we got a way better one.
Keith Newton says, "Team is so humble. I couldn't agree with you more." Keith.
I think that the reason why the four of us work so well together is because we're all friends on and offline. And all four of us are different. We don't agree on everything. Tanner and I, we get heated sometimes with some of the topics we talk about. So do me and Steve. So do me and Little Wolf. And so does Little Wolf, and etc. But we all like each other. And we're all different. Steve is, he's upside down. Little Wolf is, in fact, a little wolf.
I'm very anti-gun, too.
Oh,
exactly.
Man.
And I'm very pro.
Yeah, let's boot that guy. I'll keep you on.
Yeah.
I'll keep you on, Dark Steve. Oh, you thought I was gonna boot? You thought I was gonna boot you and keep? Oh yeah, nah. Forget that guy.
no. Team hates. Tanner's own
Just
niche.
flip, folks. It's okay.
What?
No, but I'm sorry. I got distracted by Little Wolf said. But all of us have our own little niche that we like talking about. And it's that dynamic that I think that makes us work a lot better than the beardsmen.
Wow. You don't say makes it work so well. You say makes it work so much better than. So you're using comparative analysis here instead of just self-evaluating. That's great.
You know, the one thing I do like about our group, you know, we don't have women on our panel. That's true. We do want to have women as guests come in. But the one thing that I will say is very unique about us is we're from very different blocks of life. You know, you got
Yep.
Dark Steve down in Australia, who is a person of color. We got Full Hammer, who's your you know, typical white American guy, and you got me, who's the LGBTQ person, and you got Little Wolf, who is a native. You know, so we do have a very big mix of background and life experiences and where we come from and what we've been through. So that's the one thing I will say I absolutely love about this group is we've helped each other grow in many different ways and understand things in different ways and get different perspectives from different views. You know, I'm not anti-gun. I've owned guns. I love guns. I grew up in North Dakota. You know, I have my things on it, but Fo and I have had good conversations on it. You know, Little Wolf has talked about some things as far as his native background and history that has, you know, just kind of amazed me. And then with Dark Steve, you know, he's taught us that you can have a life of nothing but alcohol in your veins, and it's so cool. You know.
Well, I want to say, you talked about your diversity on y'all's panel, and I commend you for that, but you guys are missing one key aspect, and it has nothing to do with sex. Like, it's not a man-woman type thing. You guys are missing a proper straight white male on your show.
Sorry, Fo.
Sorry, Fo Hammer.
Tanner knows he has my heart.
God, man, you guys don't even catch jokes, and you guys, the four beardsmen are way better than you guys.
You know, I'm not a proper white male, so I admit that.
Yes, you are. So. No, you are. You're normal. You're just as normal as me. Just as normal as, well, not Fo Hammer, but Steve and Little Wolf.
Yeah, I've got half my life to still deal with.
Hold on 1 second.
So
what
should I hold on to?
Y'all go ahead and talk for 1 second. I'm reacting to something behind the scenes. We got a fight incoming.
Oh, fight incoming.
Wait, D-Rabbits, hold on. Uh-oh. I don't think Sir Sic's diet consists entirely of beer.
Who's Sir Sick? Whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's whiskey.
Yeah, see, I drink beer, not whiskey.
No. So, someone else I want to shout out to is Henry Seven. He wants to talk about industrial automation, and that's actually something that would be cool to talk about.
I see it as an absolute future of any technologically advanced civilization is automation.
Yeah.
You remove error, you remove a lot of things from the equation when you go through a proper automation. You know, you set things up properly. It's going to be a hard change. It's going to be a hard change for society. But it's necessary, guys. Find a way. If you're a capitalist out there, find a way to enjoy automation and capitalism at the same time. And a little bit of socialism, because it's going to require all of that. But I do have somebody I want to say hi to. We have one of the beardsmen on. The one that actually has a significant beard. And he's not even on camera to show off his beard. He's not even on camera to show off his beard.
Come on.
So fucking rushed that he couldn't even turn a camera
on. It's okay, I'm not.
What up, Johnny?
I'm still at work. What up, everybody? I'm still at work, fuckers. I heard some little bitches talking shit about the four beardsmen.
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go.
Bunch of imitators.
Hi, Johnny L. Warren. How you doing today?
Johnny L. Warren.
You wish.
No, I really don't. I don't want to know what a sponsor.
Can I ask a question of the beardsman representative? When you, Tony, Irish Demon, and JL Warren go live, who loans out their beard so that Tony doesn't feel left out?
What I do is I take out like a patch of the white beard that I've got, and I just send it to him.
He doesn't say where the white beard comes from.
Like,
hold on, Tanner. Tanner, you're being called out. Lauren says, so they completely love the fact that there's no women on the panel.
No, that's what I was going against.
Hey, y'all can't say nothing about me. I had Jesse 10-2 on last week and this week. So
we don't have any women as far as the swordsman, but we want to have women come in and talk, and we would definitely have a woman as a Globe Knight. That's the thing that I said was
absolutely.
unfortunate about our group is that we don't have a female right
Somebody
now.
get Tanner
All I
shovel.
heard from that, Lauren, was I hate women. That's all I heard.
Well-
Not me. Not me. That's coming from them. I am so
No, that's
sorry.
coming from Tanner.
I mean, you
Not the
ain't
rest of
wrong.
us. We
You
love
guys heard
women.
it. You guys heard it. The swordsmen, the 4 swordsmen hate women.
But the 4 beardsmen,
Love women.
We
Hate
love
everyone.
Women.
Hate
we
everyone.
love all the women. We hate everybody.
they love to put women to sleep when they let Tony
they
talk.
love all the women, but all the women
That's-
don't love them. Ugh.
Yeah, that
You know
is
what?
unfortunate.
Oh,
I'm okay with that.
Tony, you're
Okay,
you're
well-
allowing. Hold on, I think PhD. Look at that. Hey, Johnny, can you forward one of those invites to Tony, the top one that I sent you? Because now Tony wants to come in and defend his lack of a beard as being
yeah, come on.
a qualifier for
Tony's
being on
doing
the
that.
beardsman.
The thing
Another
that I'll
fellow
say is
Australian in
our
here.
group
You guys
Look,
are
I'm
we're
gonna say
always
this-
there to
I'm
talk
going
with
to say
each
this
other. Whereas
one last time. Hang on
Hold
a
on.
second. I'm going to say this one last time. I'm gonna say this one. Tony has a beard. It's just skin colored.
Hey, BT Toast says
well, I
at
got
Team
a beard
Skeptic.
too.
Guys, BT Toast says at Team Skeptic, the 4 swordsmen have little pee-pee. They're not arguing,
Okay.
BT Toast. They're not yet. Hey, you heard it here
I'm
first,
trying
guys.
to absorb this because
You got a finger.
like,
If I asked you guys 1 + 1, what does that equal? Y'all would immediately say, "Oh, 2, no big deal." But if I say
Window.
you're being accused of having small pee-pee and you don't say, "But I don't have small pee-pee," that means you probably do have small pee-pee, and you're trying to find a
first thing
creative way
I
of
go
admitting to
is,
having
like,
small pee-pee.
elephant. And you
I
know,
did this.
elephant, yeah, relatively small, but
Listen to all this backpedaling. There's so much backpedaling. If this were a 50s bike, we would have stopped 10 times.
All right, Tony,
you
check your
like, wouldn't you?
Tony, check your Discord. And
Something I
JL
would-
Warren, if you're out there, go ahead. Whoever was talking, I don't know. I stopped listening to irrelevant people. Go ahead and talk again.
That was some. That was me. Very irrelevant. Johnny, I don't know if I hit you up on Discord for coming on for a 100 sub special tomorrow. You are invited, and you always have that invitation. So
Oh,
if you want to
shit.
come out tomorrow, you're more than welcome to. You're in our
Go
Discord.
ahead, Johnny. You're on camera now. He can see what you just said. You just waved hi in your own unique
Look,
way.
damn, you just broke
I
me.
know,
Look
I
at
got
that
it.
beard, guys. Look at that's
When aware.
impressive. Impressive. That's all I
Pink
got.
was
to
a
say.
Good
ring.
on you,
That's
dude.
nice ring.
I like it.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Pink,
Looks like you also got a
looks-
haircut.
Oh, yeah, Pink looks good on him. What do y'all leave that man alone?
I'm agreeing.
Leave that
I'm
man
saying
alone
yes,
about his
looks
pink.
good. I was
It looks
agreeing.
like-
I'm being legit when I say pink looks good.
It looks like Johnny's trying to
Wow.
steal Tanner's
You know-
hairstyle.
Hey, look.
Look at the size
it
of
works
the
with
fucking
Tanner, okay?
trees on his arms.
Well, we got
No kidding.
We got
We-
Johnny trying to steal this good-looking hairstyle, and we got Team trying to take the glasses look too. You know,
Oh
he's like,
man, I'm
"Damn,
I'm
look how-
working it with
look
these
how
glasses,
stud he is with that.
Everybody's
I need
stealing
some of
your
those.
look, Tanner.
Team got this.
bro. I am absolutely
Whoa.
sexy with these glasses.
Yeah.
Now, look at this beard right here. That's
There
not
he
a
is.
beard. That's an
That is not a
unshaven.
beard.
That is an unshaven swallow on his face, guys. I promise you, that is not an actual beard.
But how fast is it going?
Why is there a darker streak right underneath the chin like that? It's all white everywhere else, and there's just that
He
dark
is
patch.
absolutely holding on to every aspect of his youth that he can.
He was helping Irish Demon do his laundry.
Hold on, let me get
Oh,
everybody on the screen. There we go. All right.
For those of you who watched my debate with Irish Demon, I implied that his underwear looked like he had skid marks from an entire drag racing team. I also just implied
Wow.
that Tony just
Okay.
rubs that all over his face.
For those of you that are not prepared to go to sleep right now, please mute the stream. For everybody else, listen in intently. Tony, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. I have to say that it's kind of amusing to hear people of zero significance whatsoever try to challenge my masculinity and self-image. I mean, obviously, as a precondition for this, I would need to give a rat's ass what you all think. And obviously I don't,
So much so that the first thing you did was jump on the stream.
Yeah, right.
Well,
If we did better,
the reason I
completely.
the only reason I jumped on the stream, Johnny, was because you're here.
Yes.
No,
No.
you
Where's
I
JL
hold.
Warren?
You
Where's JL
you
Warren?
I hold in the very highest regard, and I think I've made that clear all along. You know, team.
That was your first mistake.
Team. I will admit, I would piss on you if you were on fire. So
Thank you. Thank
the
you.
swordsman.
This when you were drunk, though.
If I'm drunk enough and I'm on fire, I'll just look. If I'm drunk enough and I'm on fire, I'll just piss on myself. Okay, problem solved.
No, drunk words are sober thoughts. So,
well, that's in your warped and twisted mind. Drinking is well known to impair thinking.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do.
I think a lot of what I said was misrepresented.
Yeah, but how many?
So-
No, you said not to listen to anything you were saying because you were a drunk PhD.
you
Yes.
did say that.
So here's what we're
I
gonna
did say
do.
that.
We're gonna have a mini contest of wits here. Okay. I'm going to allow Tony to ask a question that I know that the Beardsmen cannot answer. And then I'm going to ask y'all to ask that the Swordsmen cannot answer. And then I'm going to ask Foehammer to ask the Beardsmen of a question that they can't answer. So, Tony, whip out the calculus and ask the question. Let's see who is the least intelligent of all the swordsmen.
I used to love calculus, but I don't remember shit from it.
Okay. What is the integral of sine 3x from 0 to pi?
This is easy, actually.
42.
No.
That's an easy one. I could have asked them to integrate a Laplace function, Alexandre polynomial of degree 2 and order 0 from
I work with heavy machinery, right? Not maths.
0.
All right. Foehammer, Skydiver Tanner, Steve, Little Wolf, this is your chance to stump the unstumpable stump. So go ahead and, all right, Foehammer has a question right now for you, Tony. What's the question, Foehammer?
What is the free bore velocity boost given by a suppressor to M855 ball ammunition fired out of a 14.5-inch AR-15?
What's the boost?
The
what?
Free bore velocity boost.
Yeah, free bore velocity boost. I'll let Tony try, and then I'm gonna.
And he's Googling it.
No,
I'm gonna say 25%.
Is it a percentage? I would have thought that it was in. Would have thought that it was in units of units.
No,
of
it should be in a percentage,
feet per
right? Because
second.
if you have
Okay.
a lower grain bullet, you'll have a lower velocity.
turn it.
You know,
You could have a. But he specified, didn't he?
M855 ball ammunition, which is the standard round used by the U.S. military for its semi-armor piercing capabilities.
Ah, well, then my answer would be 300 meters per second.
I think I get wow, Jesus.
Am I
So
right?
you just doubled. No, you're not right. It's going to be something more like 25 feet per second.
Somewhere.
Good job Googling that, Tony.
you know,
But it's
I wanna
actually
ask
good.
him-
Tony's just like, fuck it, listen to me.
I want to ask him a gravity question. You know, what is the
Yeah.
average velocity? What is the average terminal velocity of a human in free fall?
Oh, and that's a person with their arms extended.
I would
We'll
say-
neutral body
so-
position. Neutral body.
I was going to say
Yeah.
the correct answer and the way you asked it was dependent upon surface area and mass.
Yeah. So
Because you have to make the
well,
only correct answer is when the
he
buoyant
did
force
say-
equals the downward acceleration, so that you get a constant velocity and you're no longer accelerating.
Well, it's a matter of drag, right? It's not
Right.
It's not buoyant force percentage. It's a matter of
Oh,
drag.
you're right. You're right.
and-
You're right. Drag. Not.
But that's also why I'm saying what's the
Everyone that
average
judges
speed.
miles
You don't
per
have to.
hour.
You don't
Yeah,
have to,
that-
you don't have to go
exactly.
off of specific weight, but average speed in neutral body position.
So, yeah, go ahead and you can guess. I'll be guessing because I don't know this off the top of my head because I don't know
I'm
drag
I'm gonna
coefficients
say
that well.
165 miles per hour.
No. If you're going feet
that-
first, if you're going feet first, head down, it's about 160, 170. Neutral body position, it's about 120, 130, which in kilometers for non-Americans, I believe, is 205 kilometers per hour.
Kilometers an hour. Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Jesus.
You want to let the other guy from the four beersman answer the question?
They gotta rate it.
Your turn, Johnny. You ask the question now. What's the question they can't answer? How many megabits per second does T-Mobile data rate at $60 a month provide for each individual user?
That was going to be my question, damn it.
Good to see you out there, Brady Photography. Great to see you. Crafty Keela, always love seeing you. And Forno Raisin, big hugs. Clive Wells,
Wow.
I have
I
nothing
got
nice
you
to
one.
say
I
to
got you.
you.
You guys might be able to get this one. Who was the original bass player for Metallica?
Click
Tony.
button.
Oh wait, no, Tony's
What?
too old for that.
With them.
I should know that one because despite what Tony thinks,
just
I
said
am
it.
I am on the older side, but I have no clue.
What? Am I fucking muted? Did I get it wrong?
Nope.
What'd
No,
you say?
you're not muted.
Say it again.
Yeah, it's
You,
click
you
button.
just need to repeat yourself, Steve.
All right. We have a question from the chat. We have a question for the chat for the beard or for the swordsman because this
Hang on a
obviously
second.
does
I want
not.
to hear his answer.
I didn't even hear the question.
I said click button.
Oh, I did hear the question.
Cliff
How
Button is
many more
not the
answers
correct
do I give
answer.
you? Cliff.
All right.
You are incorrect. You are wrong.
All right. So get this. Nobody from Dallas is
fuck.
allowed to answer this. If you're from Dallas, you can't answer this. What
okay.
band was Dimebag Darrell a part of?
There's three answers to that question. But
The main one. The
Yeah.
main one. The main
I
one.
am terrible when it comes to
Like Def
names
Leppard?
of
The-
actors,
the-
actresses, musicians, anything like that. That's not my
So,
forte.
God, the
so
people in the
he
chat, I love
he
y'all.
was definitely,
Pantera.
he was definitely part of the Rolling Stones, right?
Yes, part of the Rolling Stones. Pantera.
I got a
Gee.
better, I
Tony
got
knows
a, I
all
got a
about
better
Stones.
caveat to that question.
Yeah, rest
So
in peace,
whoever asked that
Dimebag.
question, whoever asked that question, what was Dimebag's original nickname?
No idea.
I don't know. I don't know his original nickname.
His original nickname was Diamond. Diamond Darrell.
Really?
Jet Guitars.
Wow.
Jet Guitars got it. Yep.
Yeah,
Daniel
Diamond
Cooper got it as
Darrell.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were an 80s hair metal band before they became Pantera.
I didn't know that.
Here's an even better
Pantera's
question. What were they
amazing.
called
Hang on.
before Pantera?
Hang on.
Oh, here we go.
Pantera
Katie's going
aren't
to
an
distill
80s hair
some
metal,
metal
but
knowledge on us.
no.
I
was
didn't
just
hear the
under the
question.
impression that Pantera was a hair band, but obviously I'm wrong.
No.
Would you believe that I don't listen
No,
to a lot of metal?
yeah, so-
Does that-
What was the original question? Johnny, what was your original question?
The original question was what Dimebag Darrell's original nickname was. That's Diamond Darrell.
Right.
Then the question after that was, what was Pantera originally called?
They had more than one name. They've been a different band 3 different times, I think. Either Pantera was their third name or they were a band. They had 3 different band names before Pantera. I can't remember what the answer to that one is.
No, so Darrell Abbott and Daryl Abbott and his brother Vinnie Paul, they both were in 3 different bands together.
Yeah.
But originally, before Pantera, they were called something else.
It's like Alinity or something like that.
I'm gonna have to Google it.
Nah, not Alinity.
I don't wanna
Alinity
Google it.
isn't it? No, I'm not going to Google,
Google
it.
it.
I should know this because they're a Dallas band, so. But it's close to
You
Alinity.
wouldn't know this unless you were deep in the scene at the time.
Well, I'm just a little bit younger than you, like not a lot, and I spent a lot of time
I've
in
never
Deep
heard
Ellum,
this. I'm
so.
from Australia. I love Pantera.
All right, I just looked at it. It's Eternity. I just looked it up. I told you it was something like Alinity. Eternity and Gemini was another one.
I have another good one. This actually came from God's Auditor, I believe. What is the frequency of the C-band?
The frequency of the
I don't
C-band?
know.
3.4
Oh,
gigahertz
you see-
to 4.5, I believe. Let me double check that.
Yeah.
4.2.
You asked a question that you didn't even know the answer to.
Wow, he
I
had
was
to look up
close.
the answer. I never do
I
that.
was close.
I'm sure
I
Tony
had a margin of
wasn't.
error.
Tony didn't ask his math question to be able to go back and say, "Hold on, let me write this all down on paper to see what the answer is."
We
Before
don't just troll like the Beardsmen. We troll each other pretty hard too. So
We do, and we're pretty good at it.
Are you under the impression that the Beardsman is just, us getting on the stream and telling one another how fantastic we are? Because we don't. Right?
we do that on Team
like
Stream.
one another.
well, you guys fight over who's better than who on who believes in ghosts more than another person and stuff like that. So
No, we only have one ghost believer. We only have one ghost believer.
No, you have a
Don't you be
second
lying
one.
on us, Skydiver Tanner.
we got 2.
Who
Well,
else?
one
Ghost
ghost
hunting.
believer.
Actually, are you sure about that? Because at least one non-JL Beardsman has been on a ghost hunt.
This is true.
But that was
I
at
have
Put up
Skeptic.
footage about it.
That was as a skeptic.
Yeah. Okay.
Skeptic.
Regardless, he went on a ghost hunt. If he didn't
Yes.
believe that there were such things as a ghost, he wouldn't have gone on that ghost hunt. So
One believes in
therefore-
ghosts, the other actively
wants
seeks
to
ghosts out.
Yeah, he wants to
true.
believe.
I brought on the
Yeah,
two
I'll
sane
give you that one.
sane people. I brought on the 2 sane people.
There is a lot of support for me doing a for me. People are trying to educate me about music. I'm a lost cause as far as music is concerned.
Same here.
But there's a lot of support for the idea of me doing a literature review channel. I will set that up. So
I'll do that with you, Tony. That would be fun.
it's essentially
You gotta
me.
be able to You have to be able to read. Dude.
That's not funny, Johnny.
It's a lot of work.
Some people really suffer in this world, and you're just making fun of me now.
Why do we have Cece on this channel
Well, we
right
do
now?
have a friend named
There you go. I
Alan
was waiting,
who
I was
has
waiting for somebody to go there.
What were you saying,
Sorry, what did you say,
Little Wolf?
A friend of you could probably recommend some books for them.
For the ghost stuff.
Fair enough.
I would like to see the
Oh.
PhD Tony reading books and then reviewing them.
They're books
Um,
that he reads to his grand.
Okay, we had 2 super chats come in. One was Jessica G that made me almost fall out of my fucking seat
I'm
for
on a bit.
$5. It says this. Hey, Johnny, ask the 4 swordsmen, what does a vagina feel like? And none of them will know.
I don't know. I only go after Tanner.
Get fucked. I have 3 kids.
Tanner is the impersonation of vagina right there, look.
There you go.
And then PhD
Yeah,
Tony
no,
hates
it's-
literature, which he
Portal,
absolutely does,
So
for
I don't-
$2.
I don't-
That's what I do know,
Again,
but the point
again,
is,
you're overstating it. I only hate the literature that I've read.
That's right.
Yeah. Tony to read the Silmarillion online. Yeah, not going to happen, Clive. Not going to happen.
You'll figure
And
out where I got my name from.
And Steve, yes, like I'm interested enough in that to dedicate any effort to it. But the also you told me on Wednesday where you got your name from. But Steve, I just want to point out the fact that your wife or loved one has given birth 3 times. Not necessarily an indicator that you know what a vagina feels like.
Yeah.
There is also such thing as sperm donors. So.
Oh no.
Ex-wife. But yeah.
So
it used to be that if you had a kid, you could prove that you've had sex before, but with modern days, that's just not the case. Yeah.
I know, right? 2 out of 3.
I agree with Tony there.
2 of them
Hey,
look like me.
I want to talk about science for a second because there's something that science really came upon I'm not going to say as a discovery, but a discovery for use. Okay. A lot of cold case crimes have been solved recently in the past 3 years, and these are cold case crimes of people who never submitted DNA, but there was DNA evidence to in the crime. So they couldn't, because they didn't have the match, they can't just go and individually test 7 billion people. They have anytime you go to prison, or a lot of times like when you go in the military, they put your DNA into a database, and that database is a worldwide database. Anybody can really get it. I believe it's called CODIS. I'm not 100% sure on that. I could be getting the actual database name wrong, but I think it's called CODIS. But science has recently came up with a methodology by which they could take DNA evidence and use what's called forensic genealogy. And it's such an amazing science because you and your brother and your cousins and your aunts and your uncles, you all share a certain portion of DNA. And they can look back and see how much of a percentage of the DNA you share to know what your relationship on a family tree is. So like brothers and sisters will share a certain percentage of DNA. Fathers and children and mothers and parents and children will share another percentage. Then you can go and you can look and say siblings of parents then have a percentage. So, and what they're using this to go back and find people who've committed heinous crimes, but using forensic genealogy to do so.
So the Golden State Killer, for instance, was found when investigators submitted the DNA sample that they had to Ancestry.com. I think it was one of those commercial DNA identification services, and were able to locate the brother of the Golden State Killer. Now, this is sort of the technical. The recent innovation has been that it is now reasonably cheap, and there's now a large enough database to do it. The problem, pretty much from the moment, they had genetic testing, DNA testing, they could identify brothers. The problem was that it was an expensive, time-consuming process, and there wasn't that much of a database to do comparisons against. It has become quite prevalent. Quite a few cases have been solved that way. There are, however, some ethical concerns about whether or not that's an appropriate thing for a law enforcement agency to do.
Why would it not be
appropriate?
Of think that. Just out of curiosity.
I agree with you. I think that it is inappropriate. Is a person who enters the army, for instance, or has their DNA taken for whatever purpose, or if you submit your DNA to Ancestry.com, they retain the right to use it. So if you submit your DNA to them, and somebody else submits their DNA later on, they get to compare against you. So have you actually knowingly agreed to legally endanger yourself or your relatives by submitting your DNA sample? and it's possible that some of the customers aren't being well enough informed about what the consequences are of this. Now, I agree with you. I don't think it makes a lick of difference, but yeah, that's just me.
I mean, is it? Do you think that there would be a point where when a child is being born, that maybe, kind of like how there's birth certificates and stuff like that, that governments might not just instantly take a DNA sample from someone right at birth?
See that,
and
now,
that in database.
That I agree with Tony on. There might be some
repercussions of that?
implications. Yeah, there might be some societal pushback on that, because
Right.
what
Yeah.
we're talking about doing is like mostly people who have committed a crime that have to go to prison, they get their DNA taken. People who join the military, they get their DNA taken.
Right.
If you've there's different reasons as to why you would have to give a mandatory DNA sample, but I'm also like, I don't know that I would want every child being born to have their DNA flagged at birth or taken at birth. And so some people said that it was the Avis. Yeah, I see that as a violation of privacy. I do too, to some extent. V. Martin says it's the Avis DNA database. Team Skeptic, and they're talking about that worldwide one. I'm not sure if the worldwide one, what the worldwide one is. CODIS is actually the FBI's DNA, Combined DNA Index System is what it stands for CODIS. And I believe CODIS is tied into Interpol. So I think Interpol has access to the CODIS information as well.
The other issue
what's weird about it is you could argue morally so much back and forth on this, because it's one of those where it's like, if you don't want your DNA drawn, or if it's going to be drawn, at birth or something like that, do you think that it would inhibit people from committing certain crimes, or would it still
No, not at all.
happen naturally?
Criminals are criminals
Right,
because they think a certain way, not because.
And so that's where, like, for me, if I submitted DNA and say I had a cousin that was found out to be, a serial rapist, but they couldn't pin him down and they found him out through my DNA, I'm sorry, but I'd be like, good, send his ass to jail.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have any issue with
So-
that. I get the morality of it, you didn't obtain it from him legally, but that's a tough one.
And here's the issue with at birth. Just for having vaccines, it has to have parental consent. In order for a parent to consent, they have to be informed about the issue. So if you just take, say, a DNA swab without telling the parents, or even if the parents say, no, I don't want that to be done to my child, that could be a huge issue later on if that DNA sample was not, in fact, taken with consent.
Yeah, not to mention the religious implications of that, right? Because there's a lot of people whose religions preclude them from having like doctor's appointments and seeking non-religious approved medical treatments, which I think is bullshit.
Yeah,
like you should never do that to a child.
There are at least
All right, while there's a
two.
break in the conversation, I must be off. Cheers, everybody.
Take care, Johnny.
Always a pleasure, man.
Make sure you make a good face when you leave.
We'll see you later.
Okay, I have two pieces of science related to this that I think are going to be interesting to people. They are developing DNA testing techniques that will be able to determine the differences between identical twins, because actually genetic sequences take damage depending on lifestyle. If one of them smokes, one of them doesn't, if one of them eats a lot of processed food, if one of them is vegetarian, etc., and the amount of exposure to sunlight. So there can be they're developing techniques for for monozygotic twins to be to distinguish between them. The other thing is that you can actually have a problem the other way. There was a case in England a few years ago where they were going around and they were doing DNA sort of canvassing, and they came back to one woman and they said, well, we've got some bad news for you. It turns out you're not related to this child. And she said, no, I'm his mother. I gave birth to that child. And they said, well, there must have been a mix-up at the hospital. And she said, this is a small town. There was only one pregnant woman in the hospital, me.
Right.
After I gave birth, there was only one infant, him. And it turned out that so they did another sample, and it turned out that the second sample did match the child, and she was actually a chimera. She was two zygotes that had fused together.
Damn.
And so she actually had two genetic profiles. Which is, I didn't even know that was possible, but apparently it was. Apparently it is. So there you go. I just thought that was interesting, but apparently somebody's drifting off. So I'll shut up now.
What?
It's daylight. I can't fall
We
asleep
were
yet.
all ready for that. I'm sorry, Tony.
Tony,
They filled me in, but I was just too late.
You know, like
I jokingly
there's one
said that
thing I
we should
need
do
to say
that.
to Tony. Go ahead.
No, I jokingly said that we should do that to the Swordsmen, and the team sent me a message as soon as I said that. It was too perfect.
I will say that, you know, Tony is one of the very first people in this community that I reached out to for help with an idea of a video I was having, and he's always been nothing but nice to me. And so I just needed to, you know, now that we're talking here on a stream, I just needed to thank you for being so kind to me and helping me out with things. And, you know, I know there's the swordsman, beardsman thing, and it's fun, but I just need to give you, you know, my heartfelt thank yous for, you know, for being there when I asked for help or guidance and stuff like that. And, you know, I know Johnny opened before he did.
Calm down, Tanner. He's my senpai. Calm down.
I did the same. I approached team, I approached fight, and I approached Tony for my idea on a ballistic Eotvos experiment. I'm still working on that. COVID down screwed everything up. But Tony, team, fight, nothing but respectful. They gave me their opinion. They gave me their thoughts on it, and Tony actually helped me out with a little bit of the math that I'm doing.
There you go.
So I greatly appreciate that from both you and team. Tony, you know how much admiration I have for you.
I never meant to help you. Sorry.
That
was completely accidental.
That's he's not really in Australia. He's not upside down.
You look more natural now.
Yeah.
So there's a
Good job, Fohammer.
So I just want to say, look, this is the distinction I think that you can draw between, you know, creators you should be respectful of and creators you should be careful of. And there are a lot of really good creators out there, but uniformly across them, you see that they're actually, you know, quite supportive behind the scenes. And they're very open. Now, nobody's perfect. Sometimes people can, you know, get angry and perhaps yell at somebody that they don't mean to. You know, yes, I fucking can. Not even at a flirf. That's kind of interesting that became so famous. And no drama. But all, you know, one of the things I will point out is the team and fight were actually very generous to me, and I just want to pay it forward. So yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. You think that with how many subscribers do you have? 2,500,
1,000.
1,000. So you
No,
think you're
I-
paying the same thing forward that what I do for people? You're thinking with only 1,000. Wow, thanks
No,
for making me feel like I only have
no,
1,000 subscribers.
No. I am trying to pay forward as
paying
much
it
as I
forward
can.
by the humbleness.
If you want to pay it forward, try being as humble as I. I know it's a difficult set of shoes to fill.
Yeah.
And that's totally understandable. I mean, Fohammer's been trying since he got on, and he still is not even close to my humility. Little
It's
Wolf.
just something.
I mean,
I think we need to let Lil Wolf talk for a moment because
Yeah.
Lil Wolf's been quiet. I can hear him panting over there. Like, come on, Lil, take a sip
Lick
of your
my
water
balls.
sip the water out of the water bowl, and tell us where we're all idiots because obviously we all are, and you're just holding it all back. So don't hold it back. Good job. Great criticism. I intend on growing as much as I can from that.
So to be fair to Little Wolf, his internet is shit right now. So
Yeah.
he's having a hard
Yeah.
time
You know,
talking.
And yeah, the other thing too, he's got a Rugrat running around, so I'm sure that there's times he's got to have it muted to make sure that it doesn't come through.
Just Crafty Killer is saying that she has to go, but I want to get before she does.
Love you,
Again,
Crafty.
she and Jessica G, who weren't here earlier when we were telling them how fantastic they are, just heroic what they did. So and I am so grateful because they reached out to me, but independently, they both reached out to me to make sure that I was aware of stuff and I could keep myself safe. So they were looking after the community from really early on. And
Crafty did the same for the sword.
You're right. So
sorry, Tony.
No, that's okay. But I just wanted to say thank you again, and just if you guys didn't watch Keela's live stream yesterday,
Yes,
but you want to know more about what happened. What was going on, why people are so upset or hurt by things, it'll give you a good insight because some people who haven't had a verse, haven't had a voice, were given an opportunity. Anyway.
Yeah, and
I have to thank... Go ahead, Tim.
Okay, I was going to say Brady Photography says Crafty is my internet girlfriend, and I want to warn Brady Photography to watch the fuck out. Because saying stuff like that in my chat, I will come out of nowhere with a clothesline and end all arguments. Okay, she will be with the one who is standing. Well. She will be with the one who is standing when we get done there, Brady. And yeah, Sir Lil Wolf, I see you in the chat. My net is just crap today, and it's his roommate's birthday. So happy birthday to your roommate! And I just wanted you on, Sir Lil Wolf, because you're my favorite quadruped of all time. Team, I'll fight you from Brady. Set it up. Awesome. Set it up. Let's go.
That'll be a 6-way fight. Actually, that'll be a 8, 9, 10-way fight.
Math is hard.
Well, math's not good for you.
All right.
4 plus 4 is 7.
Okay, that's not right. 7.9 repeating yes, but no.
Who is that? Who is
that?
Did
you not finish the stream the other night?
If he takes 1 cup of coffee and another cup of coffee, and he pours that coffee into another cup, he still only has one cup of coffee.
Wait, what?
That's There was a flat earther who was saying,
yeah,
was it standing for truth? There was one of those idiots. Was just saying that mathematics doesn't work.
Yeah,
right.
And again,
you have 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of coffee. Pour those into another cup. You still only have 1 cup of coffee.
That only works. 1 plus 1 equals 1 in one instance, and that is childbirth. 1 sperm cell plus 1 egg makes 1 child. But that is a very specific set of circumstances.
What defines that child? Because that's really still half and half.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So even there, it doesn't work.
Well, the concept of numerical description relies on the idea of what you're counting, right?
Yes.
If you're just counting, if you're just counting drinks, it may not make sense because you can take multiple drinks and put them into the same container. You can just get a bigger container. It's not a meaningful way. If I tell you that I've got a glass of Coke, you don't know how much Coke I've got. You just know that I put it in a glass. You don't know how big that glass is. You don't know anything else. You don't know how full the glass is. So it's just it's a fatuous. It shows a fundamental misunderstanding of how to quantify stuff.
Yeah. So let me give you an example here, Fohammer, and this is one that I asked Tony. He put me in my place, being the mathematician he is. All right, you have a right triangle with sides 1 and 1 and a hypotenuse of square root over 2. Okay? For every point, and we can agree that the square root of 2 is greater than the number 1, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Every point on the hypotenuse that is of length square root of 2 correlates to exactly and only one point on the line that it has a length of 1. Each point is, by definition, infinitesimally small. So there should be one point that correlates between each line, and intuitively you would think that those lines would have to be the same distance apart. But they don't. You can actually still have one line that's greater than another, with a point on that line being the same size as a point of another, and still having only an equal amount of correlating points between the square root over 2 and the line of length 1. So while each individual point is the same size, and there are the same number of points on each line, square root of 2 is still bigger than 1, and it still works out no matter how you look at it.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Yeah.
But each individual point,
given,
there's still the same number of points on both lines, and each point is still the same size. If you speak of it in terms of size, it's really not a size. That's where it messes with people, is that you're really not talking about sizes of anything. So to say one infinity is larger than another infinity is totally okay, and you can still say that they correlate 1-to-1 with each other via a mathematical equation.
I don't have anything more than a high school understanding of math.
Yeah, that's clear. I believe you. I believe you.
Yeah.
So
It's
talking to someone like Tony is amazing because he knows that. You know that. Me, I'm really not good with math. I'll joke around and say 4 + 4 is 7 when obviously it's 9. Oh wait.
What's the derivative of e to the x there, Fohammer? What's the derivative of e to the x? We talked about this the other day on my drunken live stream.
Yeah.
I know this. I'm not even going to bother asking Tony. That's beyond him. He would leave the stream if I asked him that. He's like, "Oh, these little people, mathematically tiny individuals," and then leave. I don't want that to happen. So, no, math's crazy. I love math. I love math. I love talking math. I think when you're talking about the universe and predictive powers, the understanding that something's predictive means you start with a certain set, a certain standard, a certain God, I can't think. I'm suffering from aphasia so bad right now. A certain thing, an initial starting point, right? You have this initial starting point, and you want to predict something in the future. Well, you better know mathematically what you're supposed to be predicting. If you're predicting a half of the number that you have in a certain period of time, well, you're still talking numbers here. That's the only way you can predict. Let's say you say, but I could use color. I could just use color. I could say I put something down in the like on the countertop. It's wrapped up in a vacuum sealed wrapping. I unwrap it. It begins to oxidize. It changes color. And you'd say, well, that's not a number. Color's not a number. But truly, color is.
Yeah.
Color is a number. It's a wavelength, right? It's our interpretation of wavelengths of light. So even at that, we're still talking about prediction and predictive powers. You better have a way. You better have some kind of standard by which other people can also repeat what you've done to make a prediction in the future given a starting point, a starting condition. And that's why we always say math is important. If you're not, when you want to debunk the globe, you better know a little bit of math. At least a little bit of trigonometry. That's all you need. If you want to debunk the shape of the Earth, you better know really two things. You need to know planar geometry, normal geometry, Euclidean geometry, and non-Euclidean geometry. The only two things you need to know. Those are the only two things that really talk about the shape, the contour of the land that sits on top of that we walk on top of. In fact, so. That's why we always stress the fact that people need to be mathematically inclined, or at least have an understanding of math, to be able to conquer some of these subjects. That's why I don't think it's worth even talking about in my time. You know how fucking long I've spent learning mathematical theorems and and understanding like certain concepts and of calculus and even higher math. It's stupid to have to go backwards to talk about the shape of the earth when I've already learned so much moving forward.
Right. Well, that's what brought me into this community, is because I used to absolutely love physics and science, or physics and math. The last math class I took was like an advanced calculus in college back in like 2001. I don't remember any of it, but coming into this community, and it excited me again about math and science and physics. I still wouldn't know how to do anything math-wise, but it's so interesting to me, and I love how you can just prove everything with this stuff, and physics explaining why things happen or how it happens, and it's so fun to get back into it. And that's what it's also kind of bothers me about like the science deniers, flat earthers, stuff like that. It's like, if you only understood, do you not see how cool some of this stuff is, or how you can do things because of it? And how you guys watch some of them?
I'm gonna tell you something right now,
basis,
Tanner. Go look at the importance of e to the x and the derivative of e to the x. Just go look at how important it is for when discussing things like rate of change. It's so important. It has there's such a mathematical beauty to the derivative of e to the x. Even the equation e to the x. You know, if you draw out the equation, the value that you get at each point on the equation also describes the slope at that point. Also describes the area underneath. It's all the same value. It's an absolute phenomenon in mathematical theorems. And the fact that we know this information, that we've not just know it, but we can also use that language to prove that language is correct. It's crazy. Right. And it has application. It has absolute application into real world science, real world predictions.
Yeah. Right. Well, that's why I would love to get back into the math of it all again, or talk with one of you guys sometime, because, you know, I don't always want to talk about skydiving, but it's clearly something that is very physics based, and something that can be you can use a lot of math in. With, all right, the airplane is traveling at 100 knots when I jump out. I don't fall straight down first. I go out at a horizontal and it curves, and it would be cool to be able to plot that out, of taking what's the speed of the aircraft plus gravity's acceleration, and how what my speeds are prior to actually being at terminal velocity vertically, because there's that horizontal component first. And I have my altimeter that shows me speeds. Like I leave the airplane 13,000 feet. My speed might be 10 miles per hour, and then you watch the next 100 feet, it's up to 30 miles per hour. So you can see where it goes, and I could plot it out, but it still wouldn't show the curve. And that's why I would love to do the math stuff with it, because it's just that alone, one thing that people do for fun, can be very mathematical and very science-based and very physics. It's
Tony, do you want to ask Jessica G's question? I think it's a great question.
Jessica G's question. How high would one bounce if their parachute fails?
Again, that's a science question.
Right. I don't want to know that. Hopefully I never find out.
It depends. It depends a little bit
more.
Yeah, well, yes.
It depends on how high you're jumping.
Yeah.
Because I could jump off
what
my
you're
couch
landing
and
on.
throw up my
your terminal velocity.
Throw up my parachute, and it's not going to open.
The elasticity of the object you're jumping against, and the elasticity of the human body.
Yeah. So, do people know the world record for the highest altitude from which a human being has fallen and survived?
Ooh,
it's really high.
It's
thousands of feet. Thousands of feet.
I think that was the person who jumped out of the plane and jumped onto the trampoline and net.
No. I think Tony's question is a question of how many the highest that someone has fallen without safety protective gear, hit the ground and survived.
Hit the ground.
And I think it's thousands of feet.
There was someone in Florida, I thought that happened to, where I thought they were over the Everglades, where when they hit the ground, the ground was soft enough or so saturated, water saturated, that the ground itself took in most of the impact. That's one of the stories I heard, but I don't know if that's that particular one. I know the
So-
average height for skydivers is 13,000
That sounds
feet above
familiar
ground
too,
in the
yeah.
U.S. So that's
So
what I would
I
say.
think that the record is 10,300 meters.
Okay.
So about 31,000 feet.
Oh my
We're
god.
not using
Wow.
Google, Tony.
Wow.
Well, also at the same time,
I'm not
That's
using Google either, but I think that there was a Czechoslovakian airliner that disassembled in midair, and a stewardess fell out, and
She did a ninja roll at the bottom.
she was probably
Parachute
unconscious for
landing
most
ball.
of it.
Come on.
so
And landed in a swamp. Yes, but landed in a.
I was going to say, I knew that there were stories of people landing
That's
in
crazy.
marshlands or something where they survived because, again, the ground is saturated with water, so it's taking most of it. It's taking that energy and absorbing it on the ground around it by having that.
I fell out of a speedboat one time, and it felt like I was bouncing on concrete.
well, that's because you basically were.
Yeah, water's hard.
Yeah,
You
no
need,
shit.
yeah, but it's so you need a shallow enough body of water that it's going to displace, fairly easily sideways.
Yeah.
You don't want it too deep or too wide, because if it's too wide, then the water either side of it will stop it from moving, and it'll stay in place and hurt you. So you need a particular combination of conditions. But yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
question for everybody. Real quick, question for everybody. We're all sitting around a pool. Someone rolls a hand grenade out. Okay, now we don't know whether the grenade is going to go into the pool or the grenade is going to stay out on the concrete. So you have to assume that both of them are going to happen for the time being, and you want to give yourself the best chance of survival. Do you go into the water, or do you stay out of the water and try to not be hit by shrapnel?
I know the answer to this because I've
Be
watched
quiet,
that video.
be quiet, be quiet.
So I'm not going to say anything.
Okay. So I believe I know the answer.
Hold your answers if you know it. Hold your answers if you know it.
I don't know it, but I would say stay out of the water, just because I would imagine that the water is going to kind of, I don't want to say amplify the force of it, but
we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay.
You may or may not be right.
Stay out of the water, like I said.
You may or may not be right. All right, Steve.
I would imagine that an air shockwave isn't as bad.
Steve, are we doing water or no water? And why?
And we're talking about explosion blast with a pressure wave?
And shrapnel.
Yeah. Well, we'll go ahead and say
And
that
shrapnel.
we know for a fact that a grenade both goes into
I'm
the pool
out of the water.
and you're out of the water. Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to let Fohammer try to... Okay, you say you know because you saw video. I've actually... I knew this already just from my time in the Navy. So I'll turn it over to Tony first. We'll go to you, and then we'll talk about the other two answers. Tony, what do you think?
I think that you should stay out of the water because the water being more solid more effectively transfers the energy of the wave, and it will hit you without being dispersed as efficiently. Air being more dissipative will tend to flow around you, whereas the water will transmit the shock to you.
Not just that, but the concussion wave actually, due to the density of the air, the concussion wave actually loses energy faster due to the fact that the density is further spread apart. It's harder for it to pass on its energy to the next particle. Inside the water, we know the particles are real close together. In fact, they're incompressible. They're about as close as they're going to get. So that has the maximum efficiency of energy transfer along the wave. So staying out of the water is the correct answer. You would not want to go into the water because going into the water, while you might not have to dig shrapnel out of your body, you will deal with crushed organs, which is deadly.
Yep. And God's Auditor asks a really good question about this. Isn't the lethality of a hand grenade mostly the shrapnel, though? Yes, but that's only if you're standing up. The probability of being hit by a hand grenade if you are laying down is less than 1%. Now, if you're within 5 meters, it really doesn't matter. There's enough pressure and enough of a concussion wave that it will kill you regardless.
Yeah.
It will literally rupture organs regardless of what you do if you're within 5 meters. It is
Don't 50 cals also cause don't 50 cals also cause pressure waves that are great enough to do destruction to the human body without actually hitting it? So all it has to do is get it within about a couple of feet, right? And the pressure wave will do damage.
The 50 BMG, the 20 millimeter, it's not necessarily lethal, but
right. It's not lethal. It'll just do damage.
It does enough oxygen, well, not oxygen, but atmosphere, that it actually turns that into basically an edged weapon, and it can sever limbs. But it has to be within a foot. If a 50 cal hits you,
more reason we don't need guns, right? You don't even have to shoot somebody to cause damage. Of course I'm pro guns. I'm just jumping on Steve's side right here. So
I love guns. Trust me, I love guns. But 1996 Portas Massacre, we worked out some shit. We advanced.
I like. Yeah, well, I would say that Australia adopted some really strict gun laws and they worked very much. However, there is a broader criminological trend to lower violent crime rates with the abandonment of lead-based petrol. That is also reducing homicide rates around. The difficulty is that I don't think that what happened in Australia required not only a huge amount of political will. There was a politician who ended his political career doing that, the head of one of the states. But it's enormously difficult in the United States to. It just doesn't seem practical that the United States can adopt similar levels of gun control, and they're going to have to move incrementally.
I was going to ask you, do you think it's going to be kind of like an intersectionality thing where they start with people that have, that are not mentally, like they have a mental diagnosis that would keep them from owning a gun out of safety?
Yeah, I
think slowly slice off a little at a time.
Yeah, I think you've got to do it that way. You've got to come up, because there are a lot of people enjoy using guns, and the vast majority of gun owners, it must be said, are hugely responsible individuals who understand the importance of public safety and the safety of gun users. And the actions of criminals and irresponsible people shouldn't be allowed to disproportionately skew what's going on. But I think that there are regulations about storage, regulations about background checks, that can regulations around training for gun users that can be done and can be implemented without, I think, completely undermining the Second Amendment. So it's a complicated issue. America is in a very unique problem. But the other thing is, I think that America's mental health care system needs to be vastly improved, and that's going to require some level of taxation, because that's the other side. I mean, if you look at Switzerland, for instance, they have very liberal gun ownership. There's a lot of access to automatic long arms, semi-automatic long arms. But they don't have anywhere near the level of gun-related crime, and I think it's because of this. They've got sort of a better socioeconomic structure and a better mental health system. I think it's a more complicated issue than just than a lot of people want to give it credit for.
Well, we have a chat. We have a question from the chat. Hold on, we have a question from the chat from Jessica G. Says, question for the four swordsmen. This would be you four down there. On a scale of Amy Schumer to amazing, what do you rate PhD Tony's speaking skills? Now, before you answer that, you just heard Tony talk. Now let's listen to Amy Schumer talk.
Vagina. 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 Vagina.
Okay, sorry, I love Amy Schumer. She gets it out.
Vagina.
Okay, so now rate Tony from that to amazing. Where does he fit in?
Well, I haven't seen Tony get his tits out.
Or his vagina.
I don't know what would the next scale up from Amy Schumer be like? What the one step above that? What would that be?
Why do you have a small domesticated dachshund?
Because Little Wolf's internet is not working, so he brought him on camera.
Yeah.
Actually, this guy turned 14 on your Whiskey Wednesday.
That's why we were drinking that night.
Yep, there you go.
So on a scale of PhD Tony's speaking level, I have to say it's more on the side of the than anything higher.
Oh, I love when Tony gets into his because there's deep thought going on. He just has not translated that to his lips yet.
Usually that leads up to a really good insult too, typically. So when that starts to happen, that something good is about to come out.
We can't blame him though. PhDs are wired differently than we are.
I'm going to say this though about Tony and his ums and ahs. I did notice that as soon as a little bit of alcohol in him, he relaxed. And I did not hear ums and ahs once he reached a significant state of inebriation. However, I think it's more anxiety that causes Tony to say and ah. Tony, please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I think you're right. I want to make my statements as accurate as I can, and I don't want to be, I'm trying to think through the counter arguments that can be thrown at me, and that makes me hesitant. And so I'm trying to pick my way and trying to grammatically structure stuff as well. When I'm relaxed, when I'm angry, when I'm drunk, and when I'm, fuck it, I don't care about, the comprehensibility or the factual accuracy of what I'm saying. I just want to get my point out. Yeah, then it disappears. I become less hesitant.
Okay. That makes sense. I did not want to accuse you of being.
No, that's okay.
Sorry, go ahead, Tim.
I have something. We're getting ready to wrap this up. Okay, we're getting close to the end. We still have a video to play as well as an intro to play. We're gonna save that intro. Don't let me forget the intro before the end of the show because I want to play that before we get out of here. But I'm downloading a video right now because the only reason I would normally not have brought this to everybody's attention. The unfortunate thing is, and it might be fortunate at the same time, is that we have a PhD on the panel. So a PhD would absolutely be the only person who could absolutely answer this question right and tell us what's wrong. So give me 1 second to set it up. I'll play you the video, and then we're gonna discuss. We're going to discuss and disgust. So I hope you guys are ready. When I saw this, I was like, no fucking way. No fucking way. Hold on, let me size it right. What did I do? Okay, there we go. Okay. All right, here we go. Oh, let me turn sound on.
In a tissue before.
You touch shit every single day if you shit. Like, you don't wipe yourself? It got shit in the tissue when you wipe yourself.
You don't know how to get the... Why are you touching the shit? The tissue is for the shit.
That's what I'm saying. You grab shit all the time.
No, you're not saying that. You don't. Yeah, you wipe.
Not wiping, you grab the shit.
You don't grab... Why are you grabbing shit?
Hold on.
Do you got shit stuck in your ass while you're taking...
So you telling me that y'all just let the doodle fall in the toilet? Y'all don't catch it every time? Yo.
I am about to leave, bro.
How do y'all take a shit?
Okay, for those that aren't paying attention, this man thinks that you're supposed to shit in your hands and then drop it into the toilet. Now, of course, not directly onto your skin hands. That's what the toilet paper is for. You put the toilet paper between your hands and the poop. and you catch it as it falls.
This has become a really shitty conversation.
It just becomes a shitty conversation quick.
I will say that having watched Faux Hammers and Irish Demons debate the other day, there are situations where humans apparently do shit into their hands and hurl it at one another. This was a behaviour.
Animals are monkeys are not humans.
Spider monkeys, but okay. That's fair enough. Then I'm not sure what scatological fixation Faux Hammer and Irish were indulging in. But I guess consenting adults, they can do what they want.
God's Auditor. God's Auditor says, like Daniel Pratt, he's a first-rate turd fondler, and D Rabbits follows that. Well, it is called taking a shit. Yeah.
It is called taking a shit. Does he know he's allowed to sit down? Like, I
That's
mean,
a good question.
Is he sort of leaning over it, and then because there's no way he can get it. Does he understand?
Does he take the tissue and does he gently place it then down into the toilet? So what I thought he was getting at first is I thought he was saying like he poops in the toilet, he wipes with his hand, and then he uses the toilet paper to wipe his hand. That's what I thought he was at first saying, but now that you're saying, team, so he's
talking about catching it on the way down.
He catches it in the toilet paper,
then puts it. Well, hold on, let's not speak for the man. Let's let this finish. Hold on, we're close.
I must have seen this shit wrong.
My nigga.
I've been catching my shit all these years.
Nah, I'm more disgusted than I feel like I can't continue.
What are you talking about?
My stomach
so
is
hold on,
turning.
so y'all just sit there and shit come right out. No way.
What happens if you got the runs or something like that? What do you do then?
That shit, you wash your hands. Why do you think people wash their hands?
Oh, God.
Yo, you shit in your hand, bro?
With tissue.
This is worse than I thought. Like, I thought it was some other shit. But this is some shitty
I
shit.
just sit there and just let it fucking shit in the toilet?
Where's your pee go, dumbass?
Yeah, that's pee is easy. I don't know. I just always shit in the tissue.
So you throw the shit in the garbage instead of let it flush down the toilet?
After I fucking do it, I just throw it right in the toilet.
This nigga garbage stink like a motherfucker. That nigga shit in the tissue and put the shit in the garbage like he a dog.
I don't put the shit in the toilet. I mean, I'll put it in the toilet.
You don't put it in the toilet.
Yeah. So she asked him, what do you do when you have diarrhea? And his response was, I've washed my hands.
Oh no! So a visual representation is literally him sitting at the toilet. Oops, I paused my camera and sitting like this as he.
No, I think Tony asked a good question. Is he sitting or is he doing this standing?
Standing.
In front of the toilet. Does he just reach behind him, poop into his hand, and then reach in front and drop it in the toilet and then catch the next log?
Does he pee first? Because does he stand at the toilet?
Most normal humans do, but I'm not 100% sure that this guy is a normal human.
Faux Hammer's completely broken. Oh, hold on.
How the fuck can someone go that long in life without knowing how to use a fucking toilet?
Well, listen, hold on. Listen to what he says at the very end.
I don't put it in the garbage. I put it in the toilet, though.
Yeah.
What were you going to say, Tony?
I was just going to say that, Faux Hammer, you are not dispelling any of your coprophiliac associations by using the word fucking toilet in such close proximity.
Yes.
Toilets are not for fucking. Leave that alone. Stop doing it.
And fucking is not for toilets. So
Tony, you took me into the bathroom a couple days ago.
That was to inform you of what a real man looks like.
That was an instructional. That was
from back in the day.
He wanted to. He was just. He took you into the bathroom to show you where all the hair on his head went to.
It did not.
His ass. All right, so let's let it finish playing off. Let's see if he says anything else stupid, because I think he says at least one more dumb thing.
How you pick up your own poop off the curb? Like you really a dog?
I don't know. Y'all should try that then.
I'm gonna get you a
that's better.
pooper scooper. That's a little easier for you.
I can't believe I ain't never did that, yo.
I can't believe you're so disgusting. Yeah, actually, Stephanie, this nigga is the most nasty, disgusting, literal piece of shit that I ever fucking met in my life. Bitch.
Oh God, no! I just randomly came across. I saw this on PKA, I think, on the Painkiller Already highlight. And what?
What? No, that was awesome.
Yeah, I saw this and I was like, oh, we got to discuss this because we have too many smart individuals to let something like this happen.
Oh, hell yeah.
As a PSA, or I guess as an SSA, as a shit service announcement, you sit down on the toilet. If you're working with a toilet and not a bidet, for instance, if you're just Americanized toilet with the single silver flapper that makes the water go down and the shit disappear, you sit down, you do your business, and you wipe front to back. Never back to front, always front to back, and do it while sitting. If you're doing it while standing,
how to wipe properly, right?
There's a what?
There's a song for how to wipe properly.
Well, nobody has time to listen to a song while you're here with me.
It's real short.
Mike Billers for $5 says, "Get a bidet, the best thing ever." I do. I want a debate. A debate. Wow. I want an Eric Dubé. I want an Eric Dubé to shit on. Yes, I do. PhD Tony hates literature.
His method isn't completely without flaw, because sometimes you get a little bit of a backsplash, and if you do pee first, the backsplash isn't that fun. So his method isn't without complete flaw, but it's still very, very bizarre.
Okay, there's people that just showed up and cannot see what's going on, so I'm going to share this link in the chat. That's the original. Jessica, if you want to know how turds came up naturally, that link is the naturally brought up turd link. Okay.
The other thing,
Jess, I love you, but stay away.
If you get an Eric Dubé to shit on, he will probably try to use his tongue as toilet paper too. So there's that.
That's just gross. All right, guys. So let's wrap this up.
In the group.
Right. Let's wrap this up. Of course, my 15-hour live stream literally took it out of me. So we're gonna wrap this up, but we're gonna start before we wrap this up. I do want to play one more video for y'all. Who made the video? Fohammer?
I did.
You did?
That was Tanner.
Tanner made this video. It's an intro video for their channel. I think that we should play it for them, guys. You know, let everybody out there to see what the Swordsmen are all about. So give me 1 second to get that loaded up. And volume.
Hey, wait, before you play, can I just quickly say, one, we're just a bunch of fucking trolls, and we love to troll you lot. Two,
yeah,
the beardsmen. Sure. The beardsmen? Who are even those guys? Like, the swordsmen are the real people.
Did I say beardsmen again? Did I say beardsmen? I'm so sorry. I just love Tony and Johnny too much to not care about you guys very much.
We know.
You sounded so dejected when you said that.
Tony doesn't even have a beard.
It's all translucent.
No, yeah, we were talking about this. What you guys don't understand is, like, if you ever watch Tony walk outside in public, he literally leaves a sweat trail behind him. And you would say, how the hell does that man leave a wake of sweat? Well, it's because it's transparent. He has transparent hair, and it's really long. It runs all the way to the ground. So you might not be able to see the hair, like you can't see the horizon, but you can definitely see the effects of the hair, like you can see the effects of the horizon.
Yep.
All right.
Because Tony's fresh about the water.
Let's go ahead and play this intro, and then we'll do our goodbyes and say adios to everybody. Here we go.
My mother told me someday I will buy galley with good oars, sail to distant shores, stand up on the prow, noble bark I steer, steady course to the haven, through many foemen. My mother told me someday I will
gentlemen, boys and girls, and peasants of all ages, when the four swordsmen unsheathed their mighty swords and thrust them so their four tips touch, the commoners drip from the floods of their thunderous power.
Nice, nice. Now, if y'all are planning on putting that in front of videos, I would recommend cutting that down to about 20 to 30 seconds. But as to open up a live stream, oh, that's beautiful. So, good job, everybody. Thank y'all for coming out tonight. We'll start with the non-swordsman. We'll start with the most important person on the panel. I'm sorry, Tony. I hate to put you on the spot like that as being the most important person. You do have a PhD. It's not our fault. Do you have anything to say before we shut this down? Oh, I have. Hold on. I'm sorry. Y'all think about what you have to say. I have super chats to read. Give me 1 second. PhD Tony hates literature for €2. Facts. PhD Tony hates literature for €2. Tony has read all literature. That's why he hates it. Stephen Alley, which I'm sure is true, right, Tony? As a PhD, part of becoming a PhD is to read all literature across the world, correct? You muted, Tony? Click here and see if you're muted. You're muted on my end. Oh, call 6. Okay, my bad. That has Johnny's face on it. All right, sorry for muting you. Please do not write a negative review response to the PhD board as I submit my thesis.
Well, you know, I'm going to be on the Four Beardsmen tomorrow night, Sunday morning, American time. I may be fortunate enough to. I'm definitely going to watch Jessica G's stream at some point. She's going to be playing some video games and she's going to be kicking ass in them. So people should watch that.
Agreed.
Yeah, thanks everyone for all of the support. I do really appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Oh, Jessica G has Resident Evil 8. That's the Village one, right? That's
time.
the new one that just came out. So yes. Anyway.
All right. Yeah, everybody should go tune in to Jessica G and check her out. Okay, so now we'll get to the actual people who were invited tonight, not the people who invited themselves. Fohammer. That's an inside joke because I actually previously invited all 4 of them, and Tony didn't know because we didn't think we could get them all together. But I did talk to Johnny Tony so that you know. Drew P. Wiener.
Yep,
Drew
no
P.
problem.
Wiener, he knows me better than anybody, so he knows I'm telling the truth here. All right. I've got super chats. God damn it. Why do I stopped reading super chats to address Tony and then I went to phone. Stephen Alley for $2. Basically, how are Team's kids doing? Now, I can't remember what that was in response to. It was funny at the time. My kids are doing great. I have no idea how many of them I have. We need to use some forensic genealogy to prove and disprove the number of children I have. PhD Tony hates literature. Again, he does. €5. Tony hates Lord of the Rings because a hobbit rejected him at Comic-Con. Had to share the real reason. Is this true? Tony, did you get rejected by a hobbit at Comic-Con?
I've been rejected by everyone ever. But I hate hobbits because they're thieving little scumbags.
They are. Never trust a hobbit. And never throw a dwarf.
Never throw a dwarf.
You slightly nudge a dwarf into the air and allow him to do his thing. Laurent F.
Exactly.
For $6.99 Canadian. Hello, everyone. Got my first Karen encounter today in my nursery. Fucking painful, but delicious to show her the exit way. Well, good on you, Laurent. I appreciate you standing up for the right of the people, not the rights, because obviously there are no rights being taken away, and I've yet to have an anti-masker Name that right. I'll wait. If you think that it's a violation of your rights, by all means, you have a comment section on every one of my videos to go in there and say, this is the right that gets violated. I've heard it all. First Amendment. Nope, not First Amendment. You have the right to speech. Wearing a mask doesn't keep you from speaking out against the government, nor does it force you to choose or not choose a particular religion, nor does it deny the freedom of press. All of this is still guaranteed. I've heard I've actually heard someone say something stupid called the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment deals with firearms, not face masks. Have no idea what the fuck you're even talking about. The Fourth Amendment, I shall be secure in my possessions. Again, anti-mask. Where does it talk about your anti-mask? I've heard the Fifth Amendment, right to not incriminate yourself. Wearing a mask does not incriminate yourself, guys. I mean, like, give me the right. If you're an anti-masker, I'm not going to be upset with you. Take your time. Read the whole Constitution word for word, and then come back to me when you find the answer. If you get to the end and you haven't yet to find the answer, then it means you're wrong. And when you're wrong, come back in the comment section and go, hey guys, I was wrong. I might not like wearing masks, but it's 100% not a violation of my constitutional rights. All right. TTF 3,700 for 5 Aussie dollars. If Team wants to be humble, he needs to address the antenna issue. We have 4 new people. Okay, we asked Tony this the other day. What am I doing wrong? Fohammer, Steve, Tanner, listen, antenna. What am I? Do I sound country number 1 when I say that?
Yes,
a little.
Am I saying it wrong?
Than Minnesotan.
Yeah, those people are weird.
You're telling me.
I can't even pronounce that one. So.
Y'all say
Antenna.
it. Everybody
you
go.
can Kane Brown album.
That's what I said, Tanner. Say it again.
Antenna.
Antenna.
You're saying "an" a little bit more. "An." It sounds
Well,
like the A's a little bit
So
stronger.
antenna.
Antenna.
So,
Antenna.
Like PH. Sorry, go ahead, Tony.
So I would say antenna.
That's what I said.
Right. No, it sounds a little bit. What you're saying, it sounds like antenna.
Yeah,
you're just saying it really
that's what I'm saying.
antenna.
Oh, okay. So I'm making the T sound like a D sound. So I should be like Anna.
Donkey.
No.
Has it in there.
No, it's the Anna. You're saying Anna.
No, I'm not.
And Tanner.
Yes,
So
you
he's
are.
going to break you.
Yeah. You and Tanner both feel the same way. But that's God.
There we go. It goes again.
Antenna. That's the proper way of saying it.
The big one. The big one. Up there is bag and bag.
Antenna. Antenna.
Antenna.
Antenna.
Antenna.
That's what I said. Antenna.
So think about it this way.
So what is it? Just for reference, what is the number after 9?
10. Duh.
11.
And 10.
Okay. So say antenna.
Antenna. That's what I just did.
You're saying Tana. Tan.
Antenna.
Antenna.
There you go.
Yep,
now put that
antenna.
together.
Yeah, that's right.
Antenna.
And as soon as you say it rapidly, it disappears.
And
all of our progress now we made, you just threw right out the fucking window. Good.
What?
I've heard people. Tony has said I've said antenna. The people out there say I say antenna, which that ain't no. I never heard me mention a.
It's the Anna.
Antenna.
You just did it again.
Yeah.
Did what again?
A way that you can pronounce it.
And
Take exactly
so
what you did.
can you hear the difference between this antenna and Tanner?
I mean, yeah, sounds like you're saying it antenna, not antenna.
What was the other one he said?
I just said both of them. One, the correct way was antenna, and the incorrect way was antenna.
Does anybody else in the country? You just said the same thing twice.
No, I did not.
You just said the same thing.
No, I did not. No, I
Literally
did
you,
not.
T.
Okay.
Do you hear the difference
Listen.
between antenna and antenna?
Okay, hold on. Maybe visual representation will help a little bit better. Let me.
I
go on
need
camera.
to. Are you fucking going to draw something? Because I thought the International Criminal Court had been onto you about this.
Okay.
Like, you know, there are conventions for human rights here, buddy. You cannot do this to us without our consent.
Okay.
I
So
need to go.
watch
I need
my
to go
mouth.
take a Riley. I will be back.
We'll allow Tony to return. We'll wait for Tony to return before you. Listen, guys, it's not like I'm saying Hannah Montana. All right, there's a big difference.
Whoa.
No, listen closely to the way I say the words Montana and antenna. They're completely different.
No, they're not. They're
Yeah,
the
you
exact
put an
same
M
thing.
at the front of one of them.
Exactly.
Okay. Montana, antenna. Huge difference.
No, you're just putting mon
There's
in front
no-
of one.
Are you saying antenna or antenna?
Well, I'm saying the first one you said, antenna.
Okay,
I'm not saying
so-
Aunt Anna.
So you could say
No,
Montana or
antenna.
Montana.
I would
So
never say
when you
Montana.
Right, so you should say antenna.
That's what I did say, antenna.
No, you said antenna. So is it Kansas and Arkansas or Kansas?
Well, I mean, come on. I'm an American. It's Kansas and Arkansas.
So let's take this to a different
Not their
language. Something
Kansas.
simple. Saying hello in Russian. Привет.
this.
I can't
A
speak
lot of
Russian.
people say
Hey.
Привет, and it's Привет.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Those are
isn't
two different
the greeting
pronunciations.
in Russian Zdravствуйте?
That's one of them. That's the formal way of saying hello.
Das Vidanya.
Привет.
All right.
Means thank you.
That's
Okay.
to your health. Spasiba is thank you.
Yes.
But what you're saying is and Anna.
And
Think of
Anna?
it this way.
I'm not
That's
saying
what
and
you're
Anna.
saying.
Saying antenna.
PhD Tony's favorite mythical creature is an Ent from Lord of the Rings. Ent Anna.
Impana. An imp? He likes imps?
Ent E-N-T. I'm sorry, E-N-T, yeah, E-N-T. N-A. Ent N-A.
Ent Anna.
Can you say that?
Antenna.
Ent N-A.
Little Wolf! Oh, no Little Wolf.
I'm back.
Little Wolf, what am I
Replace
getting
the
wrong?
E
Maybe somebody
with the
who's
A.
not here to judge me. Maybe that
Uh,
that person
I-
would be.
Cool whip.
No, who
So I
said
just-
you're to judge? I mean, yeah. Up here,
You guys, we're gonna have a
antenna.
13-hour stream just trying to teach team how to say antenna.
No. We're about to cut it off.
So,
We're gonna get to the bottom
So
and then
I
we're gonna
just-
cut it off.
so I just want to say one thing. So, for instance, I say the word controversy, right? Because my
Weird.
my mother just didn't like controversy.
Didn't like the way
she
her
thought
son
she
looked.
thought she didn't like that either. But you know, there's a so even now today I say controversy. People look at me funny. Everybody speaks in their own unique way, and
Thank you.
team. You say it in a way that sounds a little bit weird to me. It sounds, but who cares? We all know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
So who gives a rat's ass, really?
Well, I can just tell
No,
you
we
that
don't.
my antenna of love is picking it all up there, Tony. So thank you very much.
Jet Guitar says
Draw-
that you suck at
So
phonetics.
D Rabbit says I say drawing. Okay.
Yeah, where's the extra R in there? Drawing?
Uh,
That's
Drawing.
You sound like my great grandmother. Oh, go wash your
Okay.
hands. Go wash
That
them.
reminds me of like that old Saturday Night Live skit with was it Mike Myers who would do the bathtub time. Hi, my name is Simon, and I like to draw drawings. I know it came from a PhD Tony thing.
Sorry, Jess, you're wrong. It's not antenna. It's antenna.
That's what I said. Antenna. I'm not country.
Yeah.
If y'all want to hear me, okay, look. I
saying-
did this
That's
the other
okay, I
day.
was
I did this the
wondering,
other day.
Alex.
Hold on, I did this the other day. Let me go
Oh,
and
she
let
got
me
it wrong
make.
again. Sorry, Jess.
Let me go ahead and over accentuate the countryness and then say it normally, okay? It's antenna versus antenna. See, like one of them was very country, one of them was very normal. The antenna, that's country.
Now, you
Antenna
ought to say
is normal.
that in a better way, where you go in there and you say antenna. Now, you're saying antenna, which doesn't sound very country to me. You got to say antenna.
But did you got an antenna
There,
on
did
your
that
caravan?
translate better? Did that translate better?
No. Skydiver antenna.
Skydiver antenna.
Yeah, skydiver antenna. Okay, so let me get through the super chats. Y'all can laugh at me later. I'm being serious. This is not a joke at this point. It's kind of at the point at which my whistling.
No, we're gonna laugh at you.
Yeah,
now.
y'all are laughing, but you're laughing at my expense, which is unfair.
I have stopped laughing.
Is that to mean you think I have serious issues?
Tony only giggles.
No, I think we're overlooking Fohammer's quite serious disfigurements and mental impediments. So
Jet Guitar says, "Can Tony do a Southern accent? Can you talk like me?"
Oh no.
Like, what do we need to talk? Let me describe something to you guys. Y'all pick the overly Texan thing to do, and I will speak as if I have a cowboy hat on and boots. And then Tony, you reciprocate as if you're the person I'm talking to who's native to Texas. Pick Dark Steve. You get to pick the situation.
All right. Tony, you're walking up to team. You're about to have a standoff. This is back in the 1860s. And you're going to say draw. He's going to say draw. I want to hear the conversation between the two of you.
Okay, I'll lead it up. Hey, partner, you don't look like you're from around here.
You gap-toothed alien, get the fuck off my lawn.
Boom! I just shot him with my 6-shooter because we don't allow foreigners around my parks. That was the worst country that anyone could ever do. I'd literally be talking,
I cannot do.
Mr. Fohammer, I have a dead corpse out here. I need you to go ahead and measure him up and create a nice little sarcophagus for him to be put out in the desert. Will you please do that? I got about 35 cents for it. Now keep in mind this is 1870. 35 cents worth about $1,000.
Mm-hmm.
I got about 35 cents for this man's coffin right here.
Well, let me grab my bone saw. Real
I'm
quick.
shooting you too. Skydiver Tanner, out of nowhere, you fell from the sky, opened up one of them cloth catchy things that catches the wind and allows you to land safely on God's green flat earth. Would you be able to take over? Would you be able to take over for the dead Fohammer to make those 2 coffins? Now we need 2 coffins. You're going to give me a discount to 65 cents for both.
Well, if you want 2
Boom,
of them
shoot him too.
there,
Dark Steve.
Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Dark Steve, Mr. Steve, I hate to be the one to come and impose on your obvious obligations around town of cleaning up the horse turds, but right now we have 3 bodies that need coffins for them. Would you please, sir, put down the hammer and nail and let that horse go be about its way inside of the pasture and make me those 3 coffins, please, sir? For you, I got 60 cents.
Come on, Mr. Skeletor.
All right, you just sound like you're too funny not from around these parts either. But I'm gonna let you, because of your funny accent, I'm gonna let you go ahead and make those coffins for me. Make them out of oak.
Well, you listen here, boy. I come from Alabama. We all know that we're better than Texas. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry.
Chipboard coffins.
Hamel talkie.
All right, let me finish reading these. Okay.
Make this racist without it.
What? All right. TTF 3700 or Laurent F for. Oh yeah, the first Karen encounter. I'm sorry for you, Laurent. If you need any talking points or if you need some some tear gas spray to get the Karen away, please contact me. I'll find you some ecologically friendly tear gas spray to spray. TTF 3700 for $5 Aussie. If Team wanted to be humble, he needs to address the antenna issue. I've already read that one. We addressed it. I'm right. Mike Billers for $5. E to the X with respect to what? Yes, you're right about that. But the point.
Okay, just randomly, Fohammer and myself were counting how many times you reread a post the other night when you did Whiskey Wednesdays.
It was a lot.
That was a lot.
It was a lot.
Yep.
Yes, it was quite a bit.
You read
Laurent F for $6.99 Canadian. DeSantis should try the experience. What experience, Laurent?
I think it was the experience of falling without a parachute. I'm sure that Laurent is thrilled by your pronunciation of his name.
Laurent. Did I say it right that time? Laurent.
Getting jiggy with it.
He says parachute, so would he say parachute?
No, he wouldn't, because he's not, a dingy and intellectually lazy stereotype from a 1960s film. But he does have a name, and that name is Laurent.
Laurent. I'm Parisian. All right, good deal. All right,
he's Canadian.
He says Parisian. He says I'm Parisian.
Is that a word?
Yeah, it's from Paris.
Paris,
Texas.
Canadian.
Right? That's what Laurent means, right? He's from Laurent. That's what Laurent means. He's from Paris, Texas.
No,
just
Paris,
a little bit north of Dallas.
Yeah.
That would be why he's paying in Canadian dollars.
Is he? I didn't see the Canadian dollar. Oh, yeah, he is. He's paying in Canadian dollars. It's not even real fucking money.
Viva la Canada.
Yeah. Connie Johnson for $2. Your live streams always make my day. I have a good time. I have fun. I want y'all to know. It's fun for me to do this. Even when I have people like Fohammer on, it's still kind of fun.
Well, fuck you, team.
Mike Builders for $5. Get a bidet. Best thing ever. You know what?
Can you read that?
I have butthole cancer. Let's do a fundraiser so I can get a bidet. That's what we're gonna come up with this week. I have butthole cancer and I need fundraiser to do bidet because it's best thing ever. It will make my butthole cancer go away.
Are you sure the doctor said you had butthole? Are you sure the doctor said that you had butthole cancer as opposed to you're a cancerous asshole?
I have butthole cancer. That's what the doctor told me. He said, bend over. He said, bend over. Then he flicked my left nutsack and goes, yep, you got cancer of the butthole. I was like, God damn, sorry about that, doc.
Wait.
Droopy Wiener.
You don't have nuts.
Well, you pull out a big enough magnifying glass and you can find anything look hard enough. Droopy Wiener. I love Droopy Wiener. Is it okay for me to say that I love Droopy Wiener?
What would be wrong with that?
Well,
Tanner, I think that
seems like a pretty good dude out there.
That would be a question for you.
Oh, y'all get your mind out of the gutter. It was literally a person named Drew P. Wiener. It's probably his full name is probably like Andrew Richard. Penis Wiener.
Drew
Barrymore?
Then why wouldn't it be okay to say you love him?
Because I do. I love Droopy Wiener too. Says Craven Mordick, but spells it the wrong way. All right. For the Gap, with an S at the end. I'm not sure the S was meant to be there, but just in case I haven't seen it, if I have an additional gap, by all means, please inform me so I don't ruin my.
There's only one gap.
Yeah, exactly. One gap between the main two teeth. I
Well,
swear
there's a second
this.
one between the ears.
It's a fucking football goal.
Oh, God's auditor for $5. I swear this is that scene from Super Troopers where the one Canadian is acting like he doesn't know who Danny DeVito is, but he's bullshitting. I wish it was that simple, God's auditor, because, I just wish it was as simple as me saying, yeah, this is all a joke. But if I try to say it normally, like if I don't think about it, I just look down here and I'm reading off things. Call 1, call 2, call 3, call 4, antenna. I don't even think about it. Extras, antenna. I'm saying it right. There is no way.
That eye contact that we just had right there.
Nice gap, says Steve6464. Thank you. If you love the gap, put a 1 in the chat. Make it bigger, says Sean137. No, we're not making the gap bigger.
No.
We're just going to appreciate what we have. Look at Mike Billers. Oh, I love you, Mike. I love you, Gary.
Everybody better put 2 in the chat.
I love you, Droopy Wiener. I love when people say have fucked up names, right? Mute Donkey.
Yeah.
No, Mute Donkey hates the gap. Mind the gap, Mute.
Mute Donkey hates Drippy Waiter.
Somebody mute Donkey for harassing me. No, don't. I'm just kidding. Mute Donkey's actually pretty cool.
I'm not even a fucking mod here, so fuck you anyway.
Wow.
Did my guest just insult me?
I want to say something. I want to say something about this because it actually plugs into sort of. I think that there's we've gotten into a situation where actually mod rights are handed out.
You're right. You're right.
Who maybe shouldn't have them. And so we need to be a lot more careful because mods need to be somebody whose judgment you have absolute confidence in, because they're monitoring the chat for you, and you need to when you're running a stream, you can't really do that. So if we're going to construct a community where everybody in it is safe, then we need mods who do their job and are responsible and are trying to and are taking their job seriously. So it shouldn't be something that's handed out. There are a lot of people who the other day Schrodinger's cat asked you to mod a few people because they're mods on his channel. I think we should actually be taking it more seriously.
Yeah. So Marvel Girl used to be a mod on my channel, and I removed it from her because of some disagreements her and I had. Stuff I don't hold it against her or anything. It's just disagreements. But there were people who were also actively just silencing people in there. And I saw it happening from not just one group or another group. It was actually happening from different groups all the way around. That will be something I am trying to figure out how to properly address, because what I think may happen is a lot of people, like there are people like, okay, let's say Simon Dan comes into my channel. I give him a mod because he's Simon Dan, not because of the fact that because he has that many subscribers, but just because I don't want people who do have mods timing him out. If he said something repugnant, that would be something that I should address, and I would remove his moderator and probably ban him, but it's Dan,
Yeah.
Just like I was accused the other day, of being a Unirock supporter because I have a moderator wrench on his channel. What people kind of forget is like I didn't ask him for the wrench. He just gave it to me. A lot of times creators will do that just because they don't want other creators to be silenced by people who may not see things the way they do.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons I do it. The second, go ahead.
Well, that's fair enough, but we do need to sort of there are sometimes circumstances where we need to sort of reconsider whether individuals are using their mod privileges correctly. So it's just something for us to keep an eye on.
So all mods, here's what I want to say. This is not a huge deal to me because I really I try to give everybody the benefit of the doubt as much as I can. So, but let me explain something to you. When you have that blue thing on your name, it really means nothing. It just means that you have the ability to silence people if you feel like they deserve to be silenced. Here's what I ask of you. If you have a blue wrench right now, if you don't like somebody, don't time them out. Don't do that. Okay? I don't want, let me go on camera so people can see that I'm being actually serious here. Don't do that. I don't care. Unirock's people were over here the other day, and y'all did a great job not timing them out all the time. Some people were timing Agrippa out, but there were some things that were said. I tend to side with my mods. But here's what I want. If you do not think you can do that, just let me know, and you don't even have to use your mod wrench. It's just there. The people who want to actively use the mod wrench need to understand that you're doing this and you're speaking for me as you do it. So if you go around and you just silence everybody you don't like, well, guess what you're doing? You're silencing them on my behalf because they're on my channel. If you're on someone else's channel, by all means, that's your business. But on my channel, you're an extension of me, and I'm asking you, maybe you didn't understand it. Maybe you didn't, know what I ask of people to have the blue wrench on there. But what you are is you're an extension of me. I don't appreciate hate comments, and that's racist comments, sexist comments. I'm okay with edgy jokes. I think everybody here should know that by now. I don't think necessarily saying an edgy joke is something that it can be
if a
racist.
Joke's a joke, it's only a joke.
When taking context in, if there is intentful harm, then that should be canceled out. I don't mind that. But you as a blue wrench person are an extension of me. So when you're on my channel, I would appreciate you guys acting as I act. And if that's a big ask, and that is for a lot of people, just reach out to me. There's no hard feelings. I'll take it away outside of a stream so that way nobody sees it occur. But if things continue on the way they're continuing on, I'm removing all moderator wrenches. All of them. I don't need moderator wrenches.
And people should, people should understand that the objective here is to try and keep people safe, right? Now, that being said, I believe that there is such a thing as verbal harassment, and that people can come in and can start verbally harassing people without necessarily stepping over the lines you just drew. And I kind of think that we need to actually be aware that that is another form of expression. If somebody is coming in with the, if one of the things that sit down with debunkers used to do was dogpile people in the chat. They'd come into a chat and they'd just all start laying into the same person. And it was one of the ways that they sort of isolated people and victimized them. And we need to be mindful if we see something. If there's lighthearted banter, fine. If there's people just trading insults, fine. But if somebody is demonstrably getting upset under a barrage of sustained criticism, and they're making it clear that they're unhappy with this particular conversation, then consider stepping in and just getting people to back off. Yeah, okay, right. Just get them to back off. Just say, okay, you can both be in the chat. Don't talk to one another.
And don't forget,
leave one another alone. Just stay apart.
And here's the other thing, guys. You don't want to see what somebody says. Go to their channel, because every person out there, whether you're a commenter or a content creator, has a channel. Go to that person's channel and click block. You'll never see what that person says moving forward. Right. So it's
unless
really
you're
that
a moderator
simple.
And they're not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if you do
will
see it though.
Right.
You do? Okay. I didn't know if you did or not. But the bottom line is this right here. I am the biggest advocate of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. I'm also somebody who tells people you need to toughen up a bit. I know there's some sensitive things that occur out there, and we even talk about sensitive topics tonight. We're talking about guns tonight. There are people that are staunchly against guns, and they take conversations like that as personal attacks to them, and then they feel the need to respond back, and then that turns into a big shit show. Like, this is supposed to be a place where we can discuss things like that, so we can come to put you in a position to be intellectually informed on both sides of a situation. If you're against guns, then anything Fohammer says is either going to push you closer to being for guns or accepting of guns, or push you closer to being, or push, or really validate why you were against guns even better. So open ideas and expression should be allowed, but hate speech and attacking people, like Tony says, is not allowed. Okay? I don't want to see that. I don't care how much you don't like somebody, take that shit somewhere else. Unless you're okay with talking shit back and forth, because that's going to happen. People around here will have my full support. Even if I don't agree with them, I will support their right to defend themselves verbally and to speak their mind. If they're being hateful, fuck them. Kick them out. Ban them, mute them, time them out. I don't give a fuck.
I'm
make
actually
this
gonna
fun for everybody.
Say that. I'll muck around with you guys and I'll give you shit, but I'll never be full on with you guys like that.
Right.
I will pick on you guys, and I expect it back as banter because we know each other.
Yeah,
but
there are times there, and this is one of the things. There are times where people will assume that they know somebody else well enough to rib them. And if I don't know you, if I don't know who you are, I've only got what's in front of me here to go on. And that can make me feel very uncomfortable. It can make me feel attacked. It can make me feel, and I have been, there are quite a few people in the community who don't like me. Understandably, I rub people the wrong way. But
you can rub me anyway.
That's yeah, but I rub you the right way. Some people I rub the wrong way, and so it's we need to be aware that you need a rapport with people in order to so try and be gentle. If you see two people trading banter backwards and forwards, don't just be try and work yourself into that. It's a slow process, but it'll work out in the long run, because if you come in and you just try and insert yourself into a social situation where you haven't really earned a place, it's going to end up very awkward.
Well,
anyway,
that's what I was going to say too, is when, and this isn't to like target any particular people in the chat or anything like that, but if you come in and you're asking for moderator, especially if you're kind of new to a channel, or if you're going around to other channels and saying, hey, can I be moderated? To me, that's a little bit weird, because you shouldn't have to ask for it. It should just be given to you without any sort of asking. And you said it perfectly. It's like the moderators are the extension of the content creator. And any place where I am a moderator, I do take it very seriously. And when I go into MC Toon's stream, I know exactly what MC Toon does and doesn't want in his channel. When I come to Team's stream, I know what's very different, what he does and doesn't want on his channel, just like Johnny O's. And so it's like, that's the other thing too, is you can't have your own personal thoughts on who should be taken. You got to think of every channel's very different on what they allow. And if I do see banter going back and forth, or where it seems like things are getting heated, before I'll ever time someone out, I'll try to address the people first and foremost, tag them and say, hey guys, back off each other, ignore one another, talk with other people in the chat. And if they seem to continue on with that, then
but I've seen some pretty harsh
moderator.
attacks. Like I've seen people try to do and I'll speak because I'm okay with people.
Right.
Like I will go against even what Tony's saying here. Like if you're in a chat, if you're in a public forum and people are doing their own banter, I don't see any problem with inserting yourself into that banter. Now it might not be welcome. And that's understandable. Like that once you know it's not welcome, you'll continue. It's inappropriate.
I'm not talking about like playful, fun banter. I'm talking about where people are truly getting heated, where you can see the chat is getting agitated by it. The chat is getting derailed from what the content creator is saying on screen at the time, and that's what I'm talking about. And so, like, before I'll even, say, I'm not gonna delete their message, but maybe I'll contact another moderator. How do you feel about this situation? These people are going at it. It's derailing from what's actually being said on the content
Great. So let's
creators
promote
channel.
groupthink according to Skydiver Tanner. All the people that are moderators
Nah.
can get together and groupthink your solutions, please. No, I'm just kidding, guys. It's a great conversation to have, and I would go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to say one thing. It's okay to try and, as Tim says, you've got every right to try and insert yourself in a dynamic, but just be aware that it may not pan out as you were hoping for.
Right.
And the person may turn around and go, "So I'm sorry, who the fuck are you?"
Yeah, and that's their right to do that as well. And that's their right.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's where I still stay completely neutral and just say, you know, just making sure you guys are cool or something, or be careful. But
I see this conversation leading into a 4-on-4 brawl between the beardsmen and the swordsmen. So
yep.
a future date. Now that's something I was starting to talk about at the beginning. I still have in my plans to eventually bring into this like kind of 4-on-4 game show format that's going to be a lot like Family Feud, where we ask questions of, you know, people like that have been previously asked of groups to get like 5 answers, you know, like, so, you know how Family Feud works. Anyway, that will still be a thing on here. I've actually let me show you guys something. I've actually got it is ready. Hold on, let me say that, and then I can't get to it. Where did I put it?
I am gonna have to take off and get ready for work though.
Okay, 1 second, and then we'll look. I have this right here. See?
Oh Lord.
4-on-4, and there's going to be a score table here and a score table here. So we do have plans for that.
Good Lord, 8 teams.
Before I get through the last couple of super chats, let me give you a chance, Fohammer, to say your piece and get out of here.
Sure. Thank you for having me, team. Thanks for having the Swordsmen. We have our 100 sub special tomorrow. We might be bringing guests on. I think we are. We have to do a little bit more discussion in the background for that. Tony, team, you're both invited to that. I appreciate
that,
everybody
Tony?
who's watching.
He prefaces the invite by, "We may have people on," and then follows that with, "Tony and team, you have an invite." These are contradicting statements, Fohammer.
If we have
Please have
guests,
consistency. Please have consistency to your rhetoric. Thank you.
Anyway, but other than that interruption,
Did you just anyway me?
The peanut gallery right here. Thank you for everybody who came to the chat. I appreciate all of you guys. You're awesome. Tanner, Steve, Little Wolf, you guys know how I feel about you. I love you all. Tony, I mean, we have to work on getting you some real facial hair, but I love you too. So
got to learn how to teach him how to say antenna.
Antenna.
At least how to spell it.
Oh,
all
here
right.
we go another 10 minutes.
No, we're not. We're pausing everything. I'm giving Fohammer his chance to leave. Thanks, Fohammer, for coming on. Everybody go sub to the 4 Swordsmen and the 4 Beardsmen and Skydiver Tanner. Little Wolf, I'm not sure if you're still there. I don't know if you have a channel or not. And Dark Steve.
Yeah, I'll post Little Wolf's channel.
Okay, good. Okay, let's see. Mike Billers. Yeah, exactly, Mike. Just call it call it a freaking aerial. That's what it is. We're talking about antennas here. Laurent F. What do you get if you cross Team Dog and an antenna? A fucking golden retriever or golden receiver. I said it wrong. All right. It's a fucking golden receiver. Good shot. Yeah. Oh, Laurent. I will get it right. Laurent. Did I say it right, Tony? Laurent. Your silence is consent.
Oh, sorry, I muted myself because I was letting other people be in the conversation. But yes, you were saying it acceptably.
No, he says no R. He says he says no R, and then he spells it with an R. Lion.
Yeah, you don't roll the R. So
I'm rolling it.
Saying,
okay.
Laurent.
Yeah.
Laurent.
So yeah.
Laurent. Okay, Laurent. There we go. No.
Laurent.
He says okay. Laurent.
So I would
do, Sean.
Yeah.
See, I put those two
Okay.
words together.
Say Lao Rong.
La Wrong.
La Rong.
La
La
Wrong.
Rong.
La Wrong.
La Rong. Yeah. Or at least I think I'm getting it right. But
Kathy, you're not blocked.
Will correct me. Yes. So there you go.
Gary IOW for £2 says, "Give us your best Southern drawl, team." Yeah, sure, no problem, Gary. Let me tell you something. I actually, when I get around my family, this is how I end up talking. Not because I try to talk so that they can understand, but just because I feed off of their accents and their stupidity. And when we come back, I actually do sound a bit stupid when I talk like this. But I actually have the same amount of intelligence that every one of you have, even with this dumbass accent that I'm doing. But this dumbass accent gets me inside of doors in Texas. Yes, I can head straight to the southern, what is it called? Southern, I don't know, the place where we put on our boots and cowboy hats and dance and make our own steaks and everything like that. Wonderful place to be.
A hoedown
in this
or a
world.
hootenanny?
It is a hoedown. That is definitely, not even kidding, it's a hoedown for real. All right. Laron. I'm saying it right. All right. Oh, look, next super chat. Laron F for $6 Canadian. Team, in France, gaps between teeth is the symbol of happiness. Oh my God, I'm so happy right now. Thank you. I didn't finish reading that. It's a happier French. He says he wants me to read this in French. Les dents du bonheur. Les dents du bonheur.
Les dents. De bonheur.
De bonheur. Bonheur.
Why do you keep adding an R?
Jesus Christ, man.
There's an R at the
we
end
could be
of
here
it.
all day.
It's bonheur.
Yes, the way stuff is the way you pronounce it, you don't say the H out loud. It's like if I said night, right? There's a G and an H in night. What the hell are they doing there?
There's also a fucking K.
I don't say, well, if you want to go with that kind of night, yes, Knigget, Knigget. We don't pronounce it that way because, the way stuff is written is not how it's pronounced in many languages, right? So just get over how it's written down and just focus instead on hearing the pronunciation.
I know that bonheur and directly translated
it sounds like you're talking about a really good prostitute.
I am
right.
A good sexually promiscuous person. Bonheur. Les dents du bonheur.
Yep. Okay. So Laurent just called you a whore. Okay. The teeth
with
of the
with nice teeth.
Okay.
I'm a nice teeth whore.
The teeth of the good prostitute.
Everybody heard that. I'm a nice teeth whore.
That sounds like the theme of. I'm not sure if anybody's heard of the horror film Teeth, it sounds like that particular movie. It sounds like the French name for that movie.
D Rabbit says, "I have the teeth of happiness."
Yeah.
The teeth of happiness. Okay.
Clive Wells says the T in Bible thumper is silent, so that would be Bible humper. Good one.
Bible humper.
All right, I think we're done for tonight, guys. Y'all finish. Y'all satisfied with tonight's show?
Yeah.
We still got to do. The
yeah,
outros.
I am.
Dark Steve, you look like you're face palming down there. What do you have to add before we get out of here, man? Show yourself out. I really like you guys, man. I know that usually when someone tells you a lot of times that they like you, it usually means they have disdain for you and they don't want to hurt your feelings. But in this situation, I don't really care about your feelings. So go ahead.
No, I don't care about my feelings. I don't care. No, I don't do anything. I just play games and I chill with the Swordsmen, and it happened to be an idea I made up. So,
can I ask you, do you hang out with Fohammer and Tanner because your limited IQ is much higher in relation to their IQ combined.
Yes.
He didn't even know. I asked him. I said, "Your limited IQ." You agreed. You have a limit. That's fine. That's fine.
Yes.
It speaks volumes about
My
Tanner.
limited IQ makes me feel smarter than the other guys I work with.
Tanner, how do you feel about schmilling smaller? Schmilling smaller.
I like to feel smart, don't you know? It's a good time.
You sound like James from Modern Day Debate trying to fake a Texas accent.
Right.
It's better than sounding like Kent Hovind.
Hey, speaking of that, I am doing. Hold on.
Bro.
All right, but we got all the waters out the bros hit them. Speaking of Modern Day Debate, I will be on there on Monday to debate Bigfoot, which is
God, why?
And I know, like
why are you debating Johnny O?
Yeah,
I'm confused. What's the topic on?
Are you debating the existence of Bigfoot with somebody else, or are you debating against somebody called Bigfoot?
I'm debating the existence of Bigfoot, which without fucking physiological evidence, all we have is fucking myths and legends.
Well, there is a bunch of evidence that would suggest you can look at the DNA from DNA analysis of stools and other detritus reveals no hominids. There's no food source that could support a population of a significant population of hominids, and there's just no. It's just a physically implausible scenario. So, but there are a lot of people have thrown a lot of evidence.
With some of the legends that describe the size of these beings, they would also have to have there would be physiological differences between. There would have to be large jumps of physiological changes between a common ancestor and a Bigfoot versus a human and a chimpanzee. There's just,
exactly.
There are actual. We can actually determine the size of animals by prehistoric animals by using what we know about our physiology today and applying those to grooves and things that we see on bones that are very similar to ours. This is something that how we know that things of that size aren't around today. If they were, there would be large, huge bones. Like you would see these things. There's no way for an ape to be 10 foot tall and us not to have some kind of evidence to support that a being with that bone density exists. Like you said, the dietary needs, because when you start increasing the size and you're talking about a warm-blooded hominid here, they're going to need to eat the same way we do. I mean, they need to continue to sustain the energy that they're expending. The larger you get, the more energy you expend. This is why we're relatively the size that we are. It has to do with gravity, and it has to do with the ability to consume energy. If we had energy sources that were much, much more energetic, much more caloric intake, then we would physiologically be different. Maybe taller, maybe thicker bones, maybe our arteries would be bigger. Lots of different things could happen when you begin to change the outside influence, the environmental influence on a species.
I want to correct actually quite a serious allegation that was made in the chat. Gary IOW is suggesting that the problem was the issue that caused the Concorde crash was to do with French. No, it was a piece of debris that had fallen off a plane and was on the runway that was picked up and was thrown into one of the wings. It had nothing to do with language whatsoever. Please refrain from intellectually lazy nationalistic stereotypes, particularly in tragedies that involve real people. It's not the There are accident investigations that have looked into this in detail. But the entire thing, it's down to the French being too arrogant to not use English. The French people do use English, quite a lot, and they're very good at it.
I thought
Anyway,
English was the national language of all air traffic controllers.
It is.
Like to be an air traffic
Pretty much,
controller
yeah.
on an
Yes,
international
it is.
level, you
Yeah.
must be able to speak English.
Yep.
it is. Well, if he was kidding, Mike Billis, he might have been kidding. It just didn't come across as particularly funny to me. This is the thing. I often get accused of having no sense of humor.
I agree.
But if I pass something, and I go, well, that doesn't sound right. Is that meant to be funny? I try interpreting it in a way that's funny, and it fails. And I just, and then I interpret it seriously.
Well, I want to validate that statement.
Just be
you made,
careful.
that you have
Jessica's in the chat. So.
Yeah, you have no humor. So that is actually factually correct. Because I did say a joke just now when you said that, I was like, that's true, and you didn't laugh. Further validating my statement that you have no sense of humor.
Yeah, I have.
That doesn't also mean team's funny.
Nobody laughed at that because that's not funny. I am hilarious.
No, I had to laugh at it. It was a statement.
I was hilarious. I am hilarious. I was nothing. No past tense. I am hilarious. Leave me alone, everybody. Okay, but that's what the whole purpose is, guys. We are out there. We're having conversations, even conversations like this. And I'm not, Gary knows very much so that I hold him in high esteem. He's somebody that's not just supported my channel publicly, but behind closed doors, Gary does help me out with so much, guys. That's not to say that he can't be wrong. Just as it's not to say that Tony has a PhD, he also he has the possibility of being wrong. The only person, because it's my channel, that doesn't have the possibility of being wrong is me. So as long as all of you are accepting of my dominance, I think we'll be okay. We'll get through the night. Okay, great. No
I'd love to be
contesting
dominated, but it's not going to happen.
All right, and then we had one more super chat come in. LaRon. Now I feel like I got my buddy Ron over here, and I'm trying to call him a Frenchie. I'm like, hey, LaRon, come here. Bring me my beer.
Yeah, and that's that is actually a good way of thinking of it.
But anyway, guys, I really enjoyed this conversation. This chat was supposed to be a 2-hour chat, turned into 3 hours and 37 minutes. Probably because of the monotony of Tony came on. We all took a nap.
Yep.
Everybody
then you came up
assumed
and
you
you
were
gone,
reading
oh my
calculus
God.
books. Everybody assumed you were reading calculus books, but you and I were just having conversation.
How humble you are.
I mean, would you like me to spend 35 minutes talking about my humbleness? I can actually do that. Oh my God, Clive Wells. But Team doesn't have a PhD. He's one of the little people. Well, I want to say first off, thank you, Clive, for considering me a person, as Tony told me that there are real people and then there are those that don't have PhDs. So whether I'm little, big, small, short, doesn't matter. You at least accept me as a person, and I appreciate that. All right, that's funny. Everybody laugh. Everybody laugh. It's funny. It's a joke.
You're right. It is funny he accepts you as a person.
Oh my God, whatever. All right, so we are done for the evening, guys. Thank you everybody for coming out. Tony, I want to chat with you afterwards because I've been meaning to reach out to you, and it's been slipping my mind, but it's about what we were talking about tonight. The other individuals, the 4 swordsmen. First off, Johnny O, thank you for coming on. Radical. Look at that guy. He's been holding them longhorns up since the beginning, or since he left. So thank you very much for Johnny for jumping on last minute. Tony, same for you, last minute. And then the 4 swordsmen, thank you guys for coming out. Foehammer, you look lovely, baby. You look lovely. You just hold that pose right there. If you hold that pose, one day a girl will like you. All right. Just don't fucking talk. Because the moment you talk, you might as well look like this right here. Oh, no, I didn't mean to play that.
What the fuck?
That was on autoplay. I thought that was a black screen. Same thing goes to Sir Little Wolf in the chat. Love you. Thank you for coming on. Tanner, Fohammer, Dark Steve, all of you, man. Thanks for coming on. I think next week we're going to try to get the Beardsmen on. And then hopefully by the following Friday, I'll have the first iteration of Skeptic Feud. We'll have to come up with a better name that doesn't roll off the tongue. Family Feud rolls off the tongue. But we'll have to come up with something. But
Skeptic Feud. Stick with that.
Stick with it, right? All right, guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat, for being awesome. I really do mean it. If I've had a previous problem with you, I'm wiping the slate clean. I'm treating everybody as a respectable person, and we're just going to ignore the previous transgressions on each other. If you can't accept that, that's fine. No one's telling you have to forcefully be my friend. It's your loss. No, I'm just kidding. But seriously, though, I do want to say that I am wiping the slate clean. I'm giving everybody a second chance, unless your name starts with Reds. Then you're not getting a second chance. Or any of the other people on that little crew. They can just all go do their own thing as far as I'm concerned, and I'll do mine, and I'll be happy. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Y'all have a great night. I want to do music. Yeah, fuck music. Hold on. We're just gonna go back to the hard rock. I can't.
We've had a fail already.
No fail. No fail Friday, baby. No fail Friday. Y'all have a good night.
Back epic super chats. That was great.
Oh, I do. Oh, I'm not even playing the music.
There we go.
Oh, shit, I forgot the last super chat. Thanks, guys, for the stream. Night, everyone. Bone Nut, Teeth Skeptic. Bone Nut.